Okay, that's a really long time.
Hello. Can you hear me, Bruiser? Yes, you can. Stop. Stop. I know you can
No,
hear
that's
me.
fine. Yeah.
I was getting nervous at first. Like maybe he really can't hear me. Okay. So Kayla will be joining us shortly if she's not already here. How you doing, Bruiser?
I'm doing great. I'm glad you thought about me.
Good to have you back. You're becoming like you're a regular here now. Like our show is your
I'm
show, your
Team
show.
K and Kayla show. You know what I mean?
Okay. Well, thank you for coming again. And we always love to have you here and get your perspectives. So let's get right into it.
I'm
Oh,
sorry, I'm here. Sorry, hold on, I'm coming. The internet,
no problem.
I got you.
Stay
No problem.
safe.
Problem.
You got a
Right.
life jacket, Kayla?
Oh my goodness, don't say it. It's not gonna come that.
Oh, okay.
Hmm. Yeah, definitely stay safe. We will be here whenever you get here. So let's just kind of hop into the first topic because it's kind of general. And then, when Kayla gets here, we'll get more into those specifics. So, there are lots of different things going on in like, what's it called? Like, I guess, pop culture media as it relates to people's relationships. And this is relationships are a very popular topic that people want to discuss when it comes to celebrities or just people in general. Um, do you notice, Bruiser, that like certain types of stories are more popular than other types of stories when you're looking at like, I don't know, when you're just looking through your social media or things like that?
Yeah. Yeah, I do notice. I think a lot of
Yeah.
people, as far as entertainment, like they like drama. So drama is
Okay.
popular.
Right. So like more drama, more toxic things and whatnot become the most popular stories. Even, a lot of times people will be like, I don't do the drama or I'm not into that. But those are like the stories that a lot of people really want more information about or to talk about. So when it comes to relationships, do people actually think toxic is fun and exciting? And that, just regular, everyday, stable things are boring? I don't know if we've had this conversation on this show before, but it's been had somewhere on the network before about the types of mates that people choose and why. So personally, I don't think stable is boring at all. I like stability. So what do you think, Bruiser? Does
I'm with
toxic
you on that. I like stability too, man. I think as far as having a stable relationship, especially if you're some type of icon that attracts millions of followers and an audience, of that significance. They're going to be bored watching you. You know what I'm saying, if you're living within the norm, a normal relationship, no drama, no issues, no argument. No one can relate to that because most of the population or most of society, we can admit that struggles in dating and relationships. So they kind of want to see a mirror reflection of what they're having to go through. And that we know they're millionaires. We know they have this money and all this stuff. And obviously, it's going to be probably better for them to have a successful relationship because they have the means and they don't have to worry about that. All they got to do is just, do what they're supposed to do. So,
Do you think sometimes that, with celebrities specifically or people that are in the public eye or whatever, do you think that people really want to see them involved in drama because it kind of brings them back down to earth, I guess you could say? Sometimes I wonder that, do people want to see these celebrities as quote unquote like regular people? I mean, we know they're regular people, but you know what I mean. Are people like really excited to see them going through things because it makes them feel not closer to them, but I guess more relatable, which
yeah,
kind of speaks to what you were
that's
saying.
exactly what it is. A keyword relatable. It allows them, it takes away the immortality. You know what I'm saying? Whenever you become famous, whenever you have all these resources and stuff, that's part of probably 1% of people. You become immortal. You know what I'm saying? And whenever you mess up or you make a mistake, people are able to relate to you and say, okay, he's not so different after all. He's just like the rest of us.
See, but then with that, And Kayla, like, tell me what you think about this.
Hey,
So,
y'all.
especially you as a person who's, in this public eye, on your show, like you're being more in the public eye than you were before. Um, on one hand, it's like, all right, now this person's relatable. But then on the other hand, people will drag someone for doing very regular things that like not everyone, but just lots of people do. So it's like people should decide, do you want to see this person as better than everybody, or do you want to see this person as a normal person who makes regular mistakes and does regular things that average people do? So what do you think about those two
Yeah,
dynamics?
I mean, in reality, it seems, in my experience on Ready to Love, it seems as though people just want something to talk about because they will drag me and some of my castmates for doing things that they do, that everybody does. Um, and just put a microscope on every little thing. Uh, Especially because you're only seeing so much. So, like, of these relationships that we see, these relationship people talking, these different podcasts and these different television shows, we only see like literally 3 to 5% of what really is going on and what really happens on the show or in the people's lives or what they really do. So people are really critical, and that's kind of crazy, but I'm learning that that's just media. Like, they're going to cut up the most salacious parts of it and present that, like, because it's entertainment. So, I mean, it's tough. It's definitely tough to me. But in terms of the question, do people mistake toxic for fun and stable for boring? Absolutely. I think people definitely think that toxic is more fun. I think that's why people are in toxic relationships, like the adrenaline of the arguments or the situations and different things like that. I think some people's relationships are fueled off of that, and so anything healthy may seem unfamiliar or boring or whatever, but it's really just stable and healthy. So it depends on the lens that you come from, the perspective that you come from, where you come from, who you come from, but it all ties back in together, in terms of the thought process of what is fun and what's boring. So, yeah.
So can we honestly say that it's a mistake? I think it's an honest evaluation. I think they really not making a mistake. I think they're
You
more
mean what?
exciting and more intrigued
What do you
by a
mean?
toxic. Well, I don't think there's a mistake between it being fun. I think that they know that it's not fun, but it's entertaining. You know what I'm saying? I don't think
And
it's a
it may be
mistake
all
that
they know. It may be all they know.
it's toxic relationships.
Yeah.
Well, I would say it may be all they experience, but as far as
Yeah.
being all what they know, I mean, they probably want to do better in their relationships. But as far as entertainment goes, I don't think it's a mistake for toxic relationships to be fun. I think it's more like a intention. You want to see drama. You know what I'm saying? When you go to the movies, you want to see the rise and fall of a love story, or a relationship. I mean, it makes for a good film, right?
Yeah.
What do
The
y'all think?
excitement, the adrenaline.
Yeah, I mean, but that's like a movie though. Like it's different when it's somebody's actual life. Like I don't know, what do y'all think comes first? The putting out of these types of, stories that have a lot of drama in them, and now people are, looking for that, or do you think the demand for it from the people comes first? Like people are looking for these things, so then people push
I mean,
out
that's a
these
good question
stories.
because Love and Hip Hop was about relationships and people in the hip hop industry, and it was drama, and we saw that was kind of the catapult for like toxic relationships being entertainment and being on Front Street. And it's funny because I just saw today a clip back of Tara and Amina from Love and Hip Hop New York. Am I cutting up? Am I choppy?
No, you're fine. I just don't know who those people are. But you're fine. Oh, now you're choppy. Hmm.
Well, let's say a prayer
Well,
and make sure that prayer that the storm didn't hit her. Oh no, she's still there.
Okay, y'all are coming back. I don't know. Y'all, I'm really sorry, y'all watching, for being late in like this internet situation. I'm living in South Florida and we're dealing with a little tropical storm situation going on. So I'm doing the best I can.
It's back. It was frozen for like a couple seconds, but you're back now. You were about to say something about some people from Love and Hip Hop.
Oh yeah, I just saw that on the internet, and like I went through the comments and people were like, some of the best television, you know what I mean? Like, this scene is classic. And it's like Amina telling Tara, like, why can't you leave him alone? Like, he was never faithful to you. He's with you. And she's just like, well, we had sex last week, you know, and it's just toxic. But that, I don't know if it started with that, but there definitely became a demand for it once Love and Hip Hop came on the scene.
See, and that too, like, you know, let's say a show is just starting, or a podcast, or whatever, anything, news, whatever it may be. I think that, you know, a variety of things are put out there, and then, you know, people see what people are talking about the most. Like, there can be 10 stories going about different things that happen, but, you know, if someone did something that was, I don't know, some drama, people will cling to that one. Or even like a show, like you were mentioning Love and Hip Hop. You know, if it started out a certain way, I don't know how it started out. Have you been watching Love and Hip Hop since it first came out? Because I wonder this about, I have a question about it. Did you watch it when it first came out, Kayla? Can you hear me? You did? So when it first came out, was it like lots of drama, or did it become that way?
It was like that when it first came out.
Oh, okay. There seems to be a delay. I was like, can you hear me? But you can. It's just a little delay.
I was thinking. I was really honestly thinking, like, was it like, you know what I mean? I was just trying to, but it was since the beginning. And it just got worse, and it got worse, and it got worse.
Because they probably saw like what was getting the most attention. Because I think about shows like Jerry Springer or something, like way back in the day. Jerry Springer was like a regular talk show. And then once people started boxing, like people started cheering, and they were probably like, okay, let's run with that. Right. And I think that that's how, I think sometimes that's how these things like get perpetuated. So yeah. I don't know.
So yeah, it's most definitely,
and Mari too.
It's a business model.
It used to be a regular show until you know, the whole paternity testing blew up.
And it was just like, are you the father? And he's just standing up like, no, and everybody else like
running around.
What is going on?
I think the sad part to it all is, okay, it is a business model. And I think they follow that. They figure out what's trending, what's making the needle peak. And they're inviting people on there that's willing to show the world of how they truly are and truly behave.
Mm-hmm.
And when they get Black women on there and they're able to show that, I get it. Some Black women think that they're fixing the narrative, but can we really say that that is what's happening?
Do they think they're fixing the narrative on these reality shows? Because I don't see that. In my experience at reality TV, even in my situation, I thought that, and that's not the case.
I did too. Not the case. Whenever I start to study and just do a little research, it's really like how women are acting these days. So that's kind of a fight against.
Do you think that most women, just in your observation, things you've seen with your own eyes, in your observation and experience, do you think that most, you mentioned Black women specifically, so we're going to, you know, stay there. Do you think that most Black women act, you know, as drama filled as some dramatic reality shows in real life?
Yes, And if I said it, if
Wow.
I,
You think
That
most?
is wild as shit. Okay, so what? Okay, hold on. So, what drama is it that the women were having? What was it about?
Kayla.
well, me personally, to answer the question, I think it is a drama thing. And the way I look at the drama part is not women not recognizing their value, and that causes for decisions they make during that time whenever they don't recognize their value. That oftentimes the choices and decisions they make will revisit them later on in their life, and they will not be able to enjoy that. So they become toxic. They become drama filled, drama queens, whatever. I think that was a term. I don't think anybody use that term anymore. But I think it's just now toxic right now. They become toxic, and they struggle to find a worthy mate, a suitable male or a spouse to get into a committed relationship with them. So yes, I think that is a problem, and I think that problem still stands today. It's all
Hmm.
about recognition, recognizing who you are as a woman when you are in that critical window.
I think it is so interesting that you have that point of view that, the people that you see day to day and that you're around day to day are, you know, um, I guess not the same as, but along the same vein of the amount of drama as like drama ridden reality shows. I mean, that's your experience, and I'm not going to invalidate it, but like just in day to day life, like if I didn't open up a computer or like see anything on my phone about these different stories and all that, I would absolutely not say that that is my observation. I would say that most people are just doing regular things, going to work, raising their kids, coming home, hanging out with friends, like just very, day to day, mundane, monotonous types of things. Um,
Just talking about all people, or are you talking about black women?
I'm talking, well, we can talk about Black women
If you're
specifically.
talking about all women, then I would have to agree with you. But
It's
if we're talking
definitely all
about
women.
black
It's not
women,
just black women.
Wait,
It's definitely all women. And I
Kayla,
think even if you look at stuff like the Jersey Shore, the women were not acting out for no, like none of these women. I think that there are dramatic instances where people are way too dramatic. Shout out to I Love You New York, Tiffany Polar, and people who give reality to the TV the drama, that we love. But in terms of like love and hip hop, even the real world, Jersey, the Jersey Shore, the women are acting crazy because of men. They're not catty with each other just for no reason. I think that's more new reality TV in the last probably like 10 years. That's more new where it's just like girls have beef with other girls.
so is
But
that
really,
every?
it always was over other dudes who in reality we don't see these situations play out, but they play out like that on the show in reality. You're
So
dating
did
this
you,
guy, he's dating the other girl behind your back, and then the whole thing goes in, and then there's drama, and then you have two girls fighting over a guy. That's how it happens, like or guys that's cheating and da 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 da, like Jersey Shore, and that's what all those fights were about between Ron
so
and that girl. You
so
know what I'm
Jersey
saying?
Shore is what you're using against. Okay, so I think Jersey Shore's. I will agree with you that that's one of the shows that warrants that type of behavior or portrays that type of behavior in women, and not necessarily in black women. Because I think most of the women on there are white or Spanish or whatever, right?
Yeah, they're mostly white on there, but in terms of the major drama that the girls were having, it was with guys over them doing things, with other girls when they're supposed to be dating them. So I don't think it's a black woman thing. I think it's a cross reality TV kind of thing.
Okay, so basically, any reality TV, there's always going to be. So basically, these reality TV directors and producers are choosing women who don't know how to make the right decision for themselves.
I, I mean, Kayla
Come on,
can
Cave.
definitely.
If they would have chose someone like you, be honest, Cave. If they would have chose someone like yourself, would you be out here behaving like these people on Jersey Shore or loving hip hop?
No, but they probably wouldn't have
You
chosen
wouldn't
someone
make
like
the cut. You couldn't
the
make the
thing
cast, right?
is, I think that, and Kayla can probably speak to this more than I can, but a lot of times this is like the production behind the scenes and the way that things are framed and the way that things are put out onto the show, are meant to elicit emotional responses from people. They're meant to be, drama filled and all this type of stuff. Like something that could be a very normal conversation might be edited in a way that makes it look like there was some type of drama when there wasn't. I just think that, earlier you were about to say something. I don't know what you were about to say. What were you about to say, Bruiser, when you said that you were going to pick Jersey Shore as the show that you're using for something? You were saying something to Kayla, but then y'all started talking
I
about
wouldn't pick that. I wouldn't pick that as the show to represent that type of culture.
Okay, now wait, that's what I thought you were going to say. Now, I think it's really interesting when people will pick and choose who is representing a culture, let's say we're talking about Black culture or we're talking about white people in America. Um, why would you say on one hand, love and hip hop represents, a certain segment of Black America, or based on what you said, represents Black women in general, but then you'll say, but no, Jersey Shore does not represent white women. Like, why would you assume
Well,
that?
I could say love and hip hop doesn't represent Black women, but what difference does it make if reality TV, not reality TV, but Real Housewives of Atlanta, even Love and Hip Hop? I mean, not Love and Hip Hop, Ready to Love, or any of those other reality TV shows. What difference does it make if all those three shows are probably aligned, parallel to each other in some kind of way as far as the drama in relationships?
But those
So
are shows. Like, I think that some people, and you can clarify, I think some people are quick to say, oh, this bad thing, yeah, that's representative of us. But this bad thing about white people or any other race of people, no, that's not the one we should use to represent their whole culture. Like, I think people are quick to do that. I've seen that a lot. I don't think that reality TV in general is representative of any culture because it's a very like specifically curated situation. It's produced, there's production, like there are whole teams.
And producers do things.
Yeah.
Producers like put people in certain positions or certain areas and will be like, okay, you come over here and sit and talk to this person. Even if they don't tell you what to talk about, this conversation may have not happened in real life, but because you're on a show and they're telling you you need to go have a conversation with this person, they may even give you a topic about what happened yesterday or about what y'all know about. You know what I'm saying? So they put you in an environment and it creates a lot of pressure, creates a lot of different situations. And so how you react and how you do things may not be how you would do things in regular life because you don't have the pressures of the situation. So I do think people forget that too on certain types of reality shows, but every show is produced differently. Every show has different types of producers.
So
Has
that's
the
fair.
different
I'll
type,
give y'all.
and then the
I'll
people
give
that
y'all
actually
that.
produce it, the segment producers are totally different people than those production people that are editing up the footage and putting it together. Those people may not even talk to each other. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of different things. But at the same time, whatever happened, it happened. Those are what the people did. But you only get to see this much of them. You don't get to see their big picture or the big picture of the situation. You just get to see an exasperated part of it, and then it's magnified and edited up. So I mean, really, like I do think that overall, not even just reality shows, but social media wise, I just think people find drama more entertaining. I mean, that is just
Why do you think that? Why do you think that is? Because I would say that a lot of people do find drama more entertaining than just, I guess, stable, just regular conversations that don't have any drama, or situations on TV that don't have any drama. Like, I agree with you, but where do you think that stems from? Let's get into that. Sorry. Where does that stem from? Is it like, are people unhappy? Are people
Yes.
looking to see if people are relatable to them, like what we were talking about earlier?
Yes.
Are people just, you know, really excited to see someone that they dislike, you know, be in a bad situation? Or
Yes.
are they projecting their own things? Like
Yes.
somebody broke up with somebody and, you know, now the woman is sad and somebody might be like, yeah, she deserved it. Or vice versa with the man. Yeah, he deserved it. Like, are people just looking for these things to relate with as it relates to celebrities? And if so, why? Like, what's the point?
I don't know about relate with, but sometimes when people are, it's honestly, I think it's all those things you said, Kay, but really when people are in a situation that they are, let's say, like they're in a toxic situation or they're in a situation that's upsetting to them, being able to take themselves out of their own situation and go and watch somebody else's situation, that's kind of like, that's why people call it their guilty pleasure. You know what I mean? Because it's just kind of like, in this moment that I'm watching this, I don't have to think about my own situation. I can make judgments on someone else's. And that's kind of how it is. At least that's what I think.
That makes sense.
So to try to walk it back to what we was just talking about earlier, as far as the representation of a people. Okay, so I'll give you all that. I'll agree with that the producers and the directors or whatever are choreographing it a certain way to push the views. But let's just say all that is gone. Let's just look at real life. Can we honestly sit here and say that if we saw what was happening on reality TV, that we would be shocked or depressed or revolt against it because it doesn't represent how our Black women are truly behaving in real life? Can we honestly say that?
I think that, like,
It's just a fair question.
if I'm understanding your question correctly, I would say, and this is outside of looking at the internet, like if you're just walking around in your life, going to work, coming home, going out with friends, going to, you know, places that you go to, yes, like I think that a lot of people would find it very strange if the amount of drama that happens on reality shows was just happening like day to day in their own lives amongst people that they know. Like,
So let's
that's not
let's be a little bit more precise and more accurate. Okay,
okay.
let's just not say the day-to-day people that you involve. Let's relate the demographics to the same demographics you actually see on a reality TV show, as far as the race, the women, the lavishness, you know what I'm saying? The arguing, all that other stuff, the drama. Can we sit here and say that to each other right now on this platform that that is not a reflection of what actually happens in the community?
I think certain things that, you know, may be represented in shows do happen in the community, but I'm not going to say that it's representative of the whole community. Like,
So
I
okay,
mean,
let me see if I could
that
try to
doesn't
flip it
make
for you to better understand it.
no, I understand.
Let's say there was a set going on in a restaurant, but that's
Okay.
remove the cameras and the light and all that and the audio equipment. And this was actually happening in a restaurant down the street. And you walked in there. Obviously, you'd be shocked when you hear any violence or any aggression. But is it safe to say that that is not what happened with Black women? We don't see that on a daily basis in the Black community.
I have never walked into, now this is my experience. I've never just walked into a restaurant or just a library or wherever and seen like love and hip hop level things happening. Maybe you have. I haven't. So just day to day. Now, do things happen that are, you know, filled with drama? Absolutely. But to say that it's representative of everyone, I wouldn't say that. That would be like someone saying that all men are a certain way because some men are violent. But then people quickly understand it. People quickly get why those types of generalizations don't work. If someone said something like that, but people don't understand it in this situation, why not?
Yeah. Yeah,
Kayla,
and you
bail
know
her
what?
out. So
Someone
you
just
telling
put
me?
a comment right here that make it even more sense. So if the Black women of love and hip hop are a representation of Black women, then Stevie J and Peter Guns are a representation of Black men. And
Do you think
what were
that,
they
Bruce?
doing? What were they doing on this show for
They
season
are.
after
We
season after season?
see. Here's the thing. Here's the
Being
thing.
community
I can sit
hip
here.
hop.
I can sit here. I'm gonna wait till I can sit here and agree with you that there is a classification for those type of guys. That those guys exist in the Black male community. I can sit here and agree.
Wait, but
You
now
guys,
it's those
wait,
guys
but you guys
exist
can't sit here.
of
You guys can't.
instead of
But when the roles are reversed, you guys can't sit here and agree that you guys share some responsibility in the behavior in your community as far as relating to reality TV. But I can sit here and say, yeah, there is Stevie J's. We have a name for those type of guys. There are Stevie J's. There's all these type of guys that we have in the Black male population. Men never had a issue with accountability and classification.
Bruiser,
Women
you're
always had an issue with classification
Bruiser,
and
you're doing two
accountability.
different things. You're doing two different things because when it was women, you said this is representative of all Black women. That's what you said.
I didn't
But
say
now,
all. I never used the word all. I said
okay,
black. What happens
representative
in the
of
Black
Black
community
women.
with Black women?
You said representative of Black women.
Every time I make a statement, you want me to break it down in fractions by
No,
percentage?
Bruiser, I'm not attacking you. You know we love you here. I am saying that you
But y'all know I can do that shit, right? And I do that very well.
We know, Bruiser. Look, we know. But you were saying when it came to Black women, that these behaviors were representative of Black women. I even said, look, yes, some people may do these things, but it's not something that I see in day-to-day life. Like I said something to that effect. And you understand it because you just repeated that back as it relates to Black men. You said, well, yeah, there are some Black men, like whatever the names of those reality people are in the Black community. And then you said there are different types of Black men, and I agree with that. But that's the same exact thing for Black women. There are some Black women who are certain ways and some who are other ways, just like there are some Black men who are certain ways and some that are other ways. But it's just funny that some people, you Bruiser, are quick to say that something is applicable to large groups when it comes to Black women, but then when it's Black men, it becomes more specialized. Like, no, wait, we have 300 categories. Yeah, the one exists, but there are others too.
I didn't go to that extreme, but if you want to do that for views or humor or entertainment, go ahead and go, Kay.
Nobody. Don't do that, Bruiser.
I never even worded it like that, but I see where you're trying to go with it. But I never
didn't say that, Bruiser. You didn't say that the love and hip hop reality behavior was representative. I even asked you specifically if this is what you see day to day, and you said yes.
Okay, so what do you? And you said no, right?
Yeah.
You said no. The women on reality TV, how they behave, it's not how Black women in the community behave.
I said it's not representative of all Black women in the community or even the majority. I said that there are certain people who may engage in certain types of things. I even brought up an analogy about violence and men. There are some people who do some things, but the thing is, I'm not going to say that those people are representative of an entire group.
I would advocate that I wouldn't say it's an entire group, but I would say majority of Black women have this type of behavior.
So then you're saying it's representative of the group.
Okay, so majority of Black women have this behavior.
I can explain why, though.
Hold on, let me jump.
I can explain why, but I'm gonna let Kayla go since she wants to.
Bruiser, I cannot with you. Once
you can't, but you got to hear my explanation first before you make that statement.
Okay, so all I was gonna say is you say majority of Black women. Now, when we talk about the specific shows of Love and Hip Hop, or if we talk about different things on social media and stuff that pops up on the Shade Room, Black women acting a particular way. So in what scenarios is this happening? When Tara and Amina are finding out that their man is not their man, you know what I'm saying? Them acting out in that moment, you're saying this is how Black women act. How are they supposed to act upon betrayal, upon being embarrassed on national television, upon all this stuff? How are they supposed to act? I don't see any woman being like, you know what? This is just so unfortunate. No.
So here's my question. I haven't quite seen that.
It's not Black women. Any woman that gets put in a predicament like that, embarrassed on TV, all these situations with her man in the streets and all this stuff, for you to think that it's just Black women that reacting like this, it's insane. You can watch prank videos on YouTube with girls thinking, like, of all races, like being in a scenario feeling like their man is cheating and act the exact same way, because that's how women act when men are cheating on them or doing them dirty or whatever the case may be. So I think that
you have a question or are you ranting?
I'm saying what I'm saying because y'all were going back and forth and I wanted to say what I wanted to say. So I did.
Kayla's like, I'm just adding my input.
I'm just adding my input.
So I'm just trying to help you understand. But if you're gonna rant, then I gotta wait for you to go on a rant.
My Kanye rants will continue throughout the show. Yes, they will.
But okay, so if you can deliver it like that, hopefully you can receive it with the same energy.
Go right ahead.
So in that case,
Bruiser, what you about to do?
I'm explaining to you why these women behave the way they are and why most of Black women have this, and it's just in their blood, is in their mentality, is built in, and it's getting worse. Women are becoming more modernized, and it's just making things more worse.
Wait, what? That was the explanation you were giving?
Lord.
And I'm trying to explain it, so y'all don't believe that, right?
Wait,
no, go ahead and explain. Let him explain. I don't know what he's talking about.
Okay, so it's all about your sexual market value, right? So I can go down a rabbit hole with that, but I don't even know if y'all even quite ready for that. But I will answer your question that you had about the what you said, Tia and Tamara, whatever, some shit. Whatever the name was, I don't know what the name was.
Bruiser, please explain.
I'm getting somewhere. I like I said, I haven't quite watched that specific episode in which the man, I think she suggested that a man stepped out or he wasn't loyal or whatever. My question to her is, because I haven't watched that show, what tax bracket are these men in? What do they reside in? Is this the 1%? Because if these men are making 7+ figures or better, how can you expect any sexual loyalty from these kind of men? Men who earn the 1%, 7+ figures, they're just not monogamous. That's why we had an issue with the Celtics coach. It's just not going to happen. And women that have any expectations are ruining themselves by having these expectations. They're ruining their anxiety, depression, and all this shit over this.
I think that sometimes, like with that conversation, that people, who may be in the six figures, the lower six figures, let's say 100,000 to let's say 250, even though that's a good, salary to have, you're doing very well if you're making that much money. If you're making 200,000, 250K as one, a single person.
No, that's just six figures. I was talking about the 1%.
No. Wait, hold on, because the point that I'm making is, I think a lot of times that people in those ranges, let's say under 250K, which is the majority of people. Under 200, the majority of people are under.
Majority of people under 200K.
Wait, hold on, wait. So I think that sometimes when we're talking about these things, people try to act as if they can even fathom what these multimillionaire people do in their own personal lives. So if you're Beyonce or somebody and Jay-Z, you're not even it's just not the same. So to tell somebody like Beyonce, well, you should expect, no, you don't know what it's like to be a Beyonce. So I think that that's very, I don't know about those types of assumptions about people that we are nowhere near the level that they're on in terms of socioeconomic status. Now,
which is why I asked Kayla, because I haven't seen the show. What type of tax bracket are these guys in that's on Real Housewives of Atlanta? What type of money are these guys making? What type of salaries are these guys making? That's important.
Okay, so on Real Housewives of Atlanta, they're housewives of Atlanta. So the husbands and the men on there obviously are on a certain level, but a lot of the drama on Housewives of Atlanta,
give us any answer.
Like I said, a lot of the drama on Real House of Atlanta, though, is not necessarily relationship drama. It's drama between the ladies over catty housewives stuff. That's what that show's about. In terms of Love and Hip Hop, Jersey Shore, all these other shows, the men are somewhat high value men, but not like, they're not Jay-Z's. They're not, you know what I'm saying? Diddy's. They're not like that. They're more six-figure guys, like in some type of realm. I mean, you do have like, I guess you on New York, I mean, I don't know what tax bracket Stevie J was in, but we know Fabulous is definitely in the millionaire, you know, Jim Jones. Well, we don't really know what's going on with Jim Jones, but you know, they're mostly high value men on those shows. So
and what type of women are on these shows? Is it safe to say that these are low value women or high value women?
I think majority of them are high value women on the shows. You know,
okay,
there
so
are other like artists, Sierra Marie. There are other artists that have people who have a name. Majority of the women on there, outside of obviously like Peter Gunn's like girlfriends and like people like that, but a lot of the girls.
So what would you consider high value if you don't mind me asking? So you said these women are high value women. What makes them high value?
I definitely thought that Tara was a high value woman for sure. The way she carried herself and sticking by him for 12 years.
I'm trying to agree with you, but I don't know if you actually have an accurate depiction of what a high value woman is.
What makes Tara not high value?
Okay, so now you answering. Okay, what makes her not high value? How old is she?
Yeah, because I'm saying that I feel like she was, based on the woman she was, her background, her education, her femininity, her willingness to be down for her man. I thought she was very much a high value woman, very committed for sure. So I don't. What makes her not high value?
How old is she
now, or when that show was on? That show was on 15 years ago, when she was in her 20s. It's been 10, 15 years since then. So currently, or when she was on that show?
She was in her 20s. Like what, 25, yes. 28, what, 29, what?
I don't really know. It
don't matter.
Peter was much significantly older than the both of them. So I don't really, he was definitely in his 40s and they were in their 20s. So I don't know.
And Peter, you talking about Peter Guns, right?
They were young for Peter. Yes, they were young.
Peter Guns was you said he was a high value man, right?
That's the way they portrayed him. Oh, I'm Peter Guns. I'm a producer. I do this, and this.
Did he marry this girl?
They definitely portrayed him as high value.
Did he marry this girl?
He married Amina, not Tara. He was with Tara for 12 years, and then he married Amina after a year of knowing her, who I also believe was high value. Like, she's very feminine. She speaks multiple languages. I thought she was a great, very talented as well. Beautiful voice.
She had kids with Peter Guns, right?
She married Peter Guns and had kids with him. Yes.
Hold on, I thought you said he married somebody else, Amina.
He married Amina.
But the girl we was talking about, he didn't
marry her.
He
didn't marry Tara. No, he married Amina.
He had kids with her, right?
He had kids with both of them. All up in between each other. He was with Tara for 12 years. Then he married Amina, had kids with Amina, went back to Tara, had more kids with Tara, went back to Amina, had more kids with Amina. They have kids all in between each other. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's very toxic and ratchet.
And you said this guy was a high value man. You said this guy was a high value man.
In terms of how they portrayed him, high earning man. In terms of
so
value, I don't think he's a high value man based on this toxic ass behavior. He was a high earning man compared to the average American man, yes. But high value with this fuckery, absolutely not to me. But I'm saying how they portray these men on these shows. I'm Stevie J. I'm this person. I do this. I know these people. That, like, they portray them as high value, high earning type of men, industry men. That's how they portray them on that show. So, you know, I mean.
And Peter Guns was a 6-figure guy. He wasn't a millionaire.
I don't know that man's. I don't count his dollars.
All right. So we don't really have any information to go off
Bruiser,
on. But I would say.
Bruiser, you were asking Kayla about the high value woman. Please tell us what you think. Because I think high value has to do with someone's character. And, you know, it's just like a bunch of things that come into it. Not just.
You want to be precise whenever you identify. So you said character, right?
Not just solely how much money they make. Wait, Bruiser, because just wait. So if you were asking Kayla about what makes some woman, because I don't know any of these people here y'all are talking about except Fabulous and Jim Jones, and I didn't even know they were on these shows. But you were asking her about high value women or what makes the women high value. Can you tell us what you think makes a woman high value?
Okay, so what I think makes a high value woman, what I think what makes a woman high value is her sexual market value. Her sexual market value is pretty much a woman's value: her beauty, her health, her fitness, her body count. That's pretty much it.
That's it.
So, in between the ages of 18 and 25, women are at their peak value, and a lot of them, sadly, don't understand their value until it's too late. So, between the ages of 18 and 25, women are giving their body to low value men. I guess we could say Peter Guns was one of those guys. They're giving their body to low value men. And by the time they're ready for a relationship and marriage, they got to go and find a beta male that's willing to accept their body count and the kids they may have made in order to have a successful relationship.
Could it be that only a low value man would place all his eggs in one basket as it relates to the value, quote unquote, of a woman by basing it on solely her physical appearance? I don't know if men who really have their stuff together are only looking for, and I'm talking about for serious relationships. I don't know if men who have their stuff together are really out here like, man, I don't care about anything except how she looks. Like, I don't think that's what men of very high character do, in my opinion.
So let's not try to be feeble-minded about it. Obviously, other things matter. But if you have a job, you're a teacher, right? If you go to you just said that you have a job, you need to be at work, right? It's not that you only need to be at work. You also need to do your work when you're at work.
Bruiser,
so don't make it seem like
don't say feeble-minded, because these were the words that came out of your mouth. You said SMV, how she looks, her fitness, and then you said that's about it. You said that. So it's not.
I didn't say body count. I didn't say body count.
Yes, that too.
Why does that come up? That's not something anybody knows. I hate when I use that as if you can look at somebody and tell their body count. Like, no one will know except for her, and if she's willing to be honest with her partner. So, like, to say like, oh, this woman's high value, you don't know a person's body count by looking at them.
Just because no one else would know doesn't mean that it doesn't matter. It matters.
How can you judge, though? How can you look at a woman and say she's high or low value based on body count when you don't know her?
Well, whenever we get to know,
you don't know.
When we get to know you,
right? When that person gets to know them, but I'm saying
those things are
you
revealed.
Judging other women based on how they look and saying that their value is low or high.
No, I never said that.
We can judge based on how their behavior on television or their behavior on social media when they pop up on the shade room. But in terms of using, quote unquote, the body count, you can't really use that because you don't know them or that situation. The only person that would know that is them.
Whenever you get into a relationship, you don't know how many kids the man you has, or you don't know his salary, right? You don't know how much money he makes, right? Until he tells you, right? Is it safe to say that's what y'all value? A man's ability to provide and protect, right? You don't know whether he's able to do that until you have a conversation with him, right? And if you to be in a committed relationship and call this man your husband, you're going to require some type
Well,
of
that
honesty.
at
so you can
that
move
point,
forward.
obviously, you're gonna know if you're in a committed relationship at that point. I'm just talking about
I can
judging people
tell,
off the
but most men
judging
can
people
tell your
off the
body
bat.
count based on your relationship history. If you telling us your relationship history, yeah, I had a relationship when I was in high school, it didn't work. I had a relationship when I was in college, it didn't work. I had a relationship last year, it didn't work. I had a relationship, I got married, but we got to. You're counting your bodies by just saying that. You're not counting
What
the
is
in
that?
between times where you had a one night stand, obviously, but we're able to compensate for that by being red pill minded.
What?
What in the heck?
Yeah.
What in the heck?
Yeah, we're
I guess.
facing reality. We're starting to
Now
see
I
these
think
things
you're just
without having.
saying stuff. I think this is one of those times, Bruiser. What?
But see, these are the conversations that we can't have with y'all. We're sitting here telling you that there women, a beautiful fit woman that practices nutrition has become a unique woman. When that woman is supposed to be the norm, these women are supposed to be normal. A woman is supposed to be a woman's beauty and fitness and health is supposed to be the norm. That is now a unique woman today. Y'all don't agree?
Just like Miss Parker says,
The
again,
normal person,
visual
the normal
preference
woman,
and sexual
the
ability
normal
are not
woman
the
that is
same.
supposed to be is now a unique woman. She's now a unicorn.
What?
So you
I'm
don't
trying to
understand what I'm
see
saying.
where the
Wait, what?
connection.
You didn't understand nothing I said.
Huh? Say the last part. Bruiser.
I don't.
Because Bruiser.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
I'm noticing. What did
So someone says, by that logic, he would need a woman that's never had sex. So by that logic, he should never have had sex as well. So by that logic, that means the two youth is high value. So back up. No, okay. So I just think that judging people off their past, men judging women off their past versus women judging men off their past is really, I mean, it's just the double standard of it all. You know,
Okay, so let me ask you a question.
I don't like the double standard of it all. You're judging because she had a college boyfriend and a high school boyfriend and a boyfriend last year. Like, what in the heck? I'm on a show right now with someone that never had a boyfriend ever. Like, I don't understand. I don't understand. What does that mean? None of this means, like, I mean, okay.
So our values are different. That's what that means. That means the way we're valued as men is different from the way women are valued. Right? Y'all don't agree with that? Or y'all sitting here saying that y'all
I don't see many men dating a virgin. I just don't see it happening. Like, they talk all this fairy tale talk, but I just don't see most men dating a virgin.
You don't see most men dating him, or you don't see
I've
most
heard
of them
men
preferring
on Clubhouse,
that?
on YouTube, in all different spaces that say they will not date a virgin.
Well, you need to show me that. You need to show me that space, because the closer you are to virginity, which is probably highly unlikely in our community,
that, and that sounds great, and I agree. But
I'm just making a statement. I'm not going to go to the extreme like everybody else saying you got to be a virgin.
They will not date virgins.
I said I said your body count matters. I didn't say you have to be a virgin. So when people start going to the extreme, they try to protect a particular insecurity. What I am saying is,
no, it's not. That's the reality of the situation.
What I'm saying is, okay, compare it to a vehicle you buying. When you drive off the lot with a brand new vehicle, it's at its highest value at 0 miles, right? Once you start to put miles on this vehicle, it starts to depreciate in value.
Here goes the card now.
That is the same thing.
Kayla,
okay, so the fact that you guys have heard this before lets me know you guys are just being ignorant today. That's all
Kayla,
that means.
I think the lock and key analogy is coming next.
Yeah, probably. I think it is.
I'm not gonna even say none of that. I'm just saying women are focusing on their beauty in reverse.
All people have to do.
They're focusing on their marriages in reverse. They're focusing on their beauty. They're waiting until to accomplish their career goals before they start to put their marriage first. And they're working and they're focusing on their beauty in reverse.
So does that scare you? Not you, because you're clearly married, but like, do you think that like premise that you just mentioned scares men? Like, do you think that men are like, oh no, the women don't care at this young age? You know, they're trying to go to school or do this or that. Do you think that that's what's happening? That men are not, that men are getting worried about that?
Getting worried?
Yeah, like, because you just mentioned that certain types of women are more rare, and you mentioned that women are more concerned
Certain
with
types. I said a specific type.
Yeah, you said like fit and healthy, something like that.
What
Um,
women's
I mean,
supposed
this
to
is
be
a
as the
perfect
norm has
segue
now
into
become unique. And
right.
if you
Okay,
guys are
but
sitting here not agreeing with that, y'all being disingenuous to everybody who's listening.
I think that's a perfect segue into the next topic because it's just
We can run away from it.
no,
I
we're
mean,
not
that's the
running
best
away
way to
from
do it.
it.
If you don't
We're
want to
not.
have a conversation, just
perfect.
We're
change the topic.
having the conversation, but we also have a itinerary to the show. Yeah, we do, and
There
it
you
does
go.
go into the next part, which men want to talk all day about body counts, about physical fitness, about all of these things. And I think that is so, I don't disagree with it. We know that these are the things that men like. I do not disagree with any of that, right? But it brings me to this video that I saw of Keita Rose on Instagram, right? That's where it brings us. We're going to do this, so we can start taking some callers soon because I see some eager beavers in the chat. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at the video and we will go from there.
Even gonna lie, it'd be irritating the hell out of me when I see he cheated on Nia Long. Yes, Nia Long, Beyonce, J-Lo. It never mattered. How you looked never mattered to a man that was going to disrespect you and degrade you anyway. It doesn't matter. But let me tell you what does. It does matter how you look to a certain extent to a man that's not ready for marriage, but is ready to have you in his collection. What did Future say? If I hit her once, she a part of my collection? Because that's what it is. These men see women like Nia Long and say, yeah, I got to get you pregnant. Yeah, I got to marry you. I got to sit your ass down somewhere because what I don't want is other men touching you. But me, I'm community property. So let's stop with the, what? She's so pretty. Yeah, she's pretty. She's beautiful. But none of that ever mattered.
Yeah. So thoughts on the video. I agree with this video. I mean, from the baddest of the baddest women, still get cheated on, still get degraded. So all this whole, if you do all of this, like every day it comes out where all the women that are the most feminine and high value and so attractive and fit and all of these things still get cheated on, still get disrespected. So I think it's very, very interesting how men will get on the internet and say, this is what you need to do to lock a man down. This is what you need to do to earn to be worthy of a high value man, or to, whatever, what is it? Not hit the wall and all these other things. I think it is really crazy because we see how it, like she said, it still doesn't matter. There are some men that are going to do what they're going to do no matter what, because they feel like I'm a man and I can do that. So when we have these talks about all these things that women need to do, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because there's a culture of men that are always going to do what the fuck they want to do. It doesn't matter if you're the epitome of femininity, you have the hottest body, J-Lo, Nia Long, Beyonce, hottest bodies, fit, feminine, all these things. It doesn't matter because there is a culture out here that tells men that they can do whatever they want, especially if they high value. They got options. They can do whatever the fuck they want. But of course, like she said, they want to sit you the fuck down so nobody else gets to you, so that you can be deemed as worthy to get sat the fuck down while he goes out and be community property in the streets. That is a double standard of it all, because I'm a man and I can do that. And it's just different for me because I go inside of women and blah, 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 excuses, bullshit about why you don't need to be an upstanding guy because you don't have to, because men don't have to. Like, it's complete bullshit. So I definitely wanted to play that video. Kay, what do you think about the video?
So I think we talked about it on our last show, that, how you look doesn't matter. And the fact that so many people put, like Bruiser even just said, when we asked what makes a woman high value, it was, I think he said body count, her fitness level, and her looks. And
what else did I say?
You tell me, because I don't remember.
They said something about body count and fitness, right?
And looks, right?
It's funny how y'all skipped over the most important point of y'all value.
Youth? What was it?
So all
18
those
to
were
25.
important.
Okay, so youth. All right, so
youth.
Body count. You said those things, but like Kayla, that clip you just played, I mean, she said, it doesn't matter because we think about like a Beyonce or, whoever people think are, the women who
All three of those women that she said, they all were wifed up at a young age. And
at a young age. So
J-Lo got married young. Nia been with him forever. Who's the other girl? Beyonce been with Jay-Z since she was a teeny bopper, very young. So what?
But
what?
then
Still acted a fool.
But then the excuse shifts to, well, they have money, so they don't have to. Like, it's always something, right? So if the woman fits into what some men view as quote unquote high value, then it's like, all right, she's going to get the man where those things aren't going to keep them around. Like, it's inconsistent. It's giving very inconsistent. How on one hand can it be, well, make sure you have all these things. But if you have all these things and then you qualify for this certain type of man, also expect a level of treatment that you don't want. Like, what? That doesn't make sense.
Okay, so here's what makes sense. Nia Long was how old?
I don't know how old she is currently.
I think she
Let's
might
say 50 in her 50s.
Maybe.
Well, she's somebody's
6 years
wife.
older than him.
She's somebody's wife.
Okay, she's in her 50s.
Now she's in her 50s. People get old. That's what happens.
salary does this guy make? Is he in the top 1% or below?
He's definitely in the 1%. He's a Celtics coach. He makes more money than most people in America.
He is an earning of 1%. And still, like I stated before, women are delusional because they expect men in the 1% that makes 7 figures or better to have some type of sexual loyalty, which is not.
What? Okay.
Bruiser, do you think
marry someone high value?
Bruiser, do you think
or
that
high earning, she should not expect sexual loyalty?
Bruiser, do you think that men are just
hold on? So let me break it down to you. So if I'm a single man going into a relationship and I have an earning of the 1% population, I'm not going to submit to the same restrictions of 99% of all men. Only way I would is if I'm already in a relationship. I got some issue going on down there where I'm not like I don't have any drive or anything. It's just not gonna happen.
I mean, I don't know the ins and outs of their relationship, so I can't like speak specifically on it. But what you're saying is interesting because you're basically saying that no matter what a man says to a woman, that if they're at a certain quote unquote level, that no woman should trust them. Is that what you're saying?
men making less.
Are you saying that men are untrustworthy?
Let me answer. Men making less than $60,000 a year often struggle with loyalty anyway. So why would men who have the means of financing the lives of multiple women remain loyal?
Men of all tax brackets cheat. Men that work at the grocery store cheat. Men that but we make excuses for when the high value men cheat because
so what y'all trying to say is men are monogamous, and I'm telling you they aren't.
So Bruiser, are you saying that
according to hold on, let me just say this. Listen, just let me see if I can break it down to you. According to the latest data available, 76% of US millionaires are white. While black and Asian and they account for like 8% each, and Hispanic is 7%. So this stat narrows it down even more. So to take it a step further, since black, Asian, and Hispanic men make up less than 30% of their entire pool of 7-figure population, if I'm a woman and I want to increase my chances of scoring a loyal millionaire, you'd be wise to choose a white millionaire because there are so much more of them making that kind of money, which means the popularity among white millionaires is very dense compared to the other races. So if 100 women live in a village with 4 black millionaires, how many options does each black millionaire have? 25, right? If 100 of those women live in a village with 76 white millionaires, how many options does each white millionaire have? 1.3 options. So meaning it's a 30% chance that he would have a side chick. So you're dating a black man who's making who's in the 1%. So only 8% of black men are part of that 1%, and you expect this guy to have some type of sexual loyalty.
Bruiser.
It's
So
just
we
not
cannot
gonna happen.
We need to make sure we don't get anybody with too much money, because we cannot expect loyalty from them. We need to
Bruiser.
make sure we get with men under a certain income.
The only reason why we monogamous, only reason why black men are black, only reason why men period are monogamous is because society says you're supposed to be monogamous.
No, you don't. No, society doesn't say that. You can do whatever you want. This is America. You
But
can
you'll
do
be killed.
whatever you want. You don't have to get married and make vows to a woman and then say, "Oh, I'm doing it because society wants me to do it." And so I'm going to do it.
If men acted within their nature, no man would be monogamous.
Okay, so Bruiser,
I don't agree with that. I think some men do like the women that they're with, and they like being with her. I do think that a lot of men do not want to be out in the streets. They like the woman that they're with. They're happy. So this notion that like no men want to be monogamous to one woman, I just don't think that that's true. I think that
I didn't say they didn't want to be. I said they do want to be, to have a sexual relationship, because that's what society is telling women. Oh, that is a deal breaker for you in a marriage. What I'm telling you guys is men are only monogamous because we have to, in order to keep you in our lives, in order to keep you from leaving us and taking all of our finances.
So Bruiser, because taking all the finances, that only applies in a like marriage situation if there's no prenup and if there are even finances to be taken. Like y'all act like every person is in a situation where alimony is going to get paid. They're not. I don't think the average person is in that situation. That's like a different situation. But okay, back to the like other question. Are you saying that men should not be trusted by women? Are you saying that women just should not trust men?
It's not a matter of trust if you already have the expectations for it. It's more of
it is a matter of
understanding.
Trust.
No, it's not. It's understanding.
If you're understanding,
if you're married, Bruiser,
you guys don't understand men. That's what it is. You don't understand men.
I understand men, but also, simply, if you tell me something, can I trust this the truth or not? It has nothing to do with understanding men. Are you, just as a human being, are you an honest human being with integrity or not? Don't say that I'm a man.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. We have the will. We have control.
You say something.
We have accountability. We have control.
How
and
hard
we have
is it not to lie?
We have control and we have accountability on our behavior and our actions. So if we want to decide and say, hey, look, we're going to be monogamous, we can do that.
Okay.
We do that, and we have do that, and we do that.
And many men do that.
But because we do that, and we want to do that for the sake of having a successful marriage, doesn't mean that is not our natural behavior.
So now you're talking about
that's not even the topic. Like, okay, that's not even what it is.
I just broke down the monogamous behavior and the natural behavior of a man, and I just related that to why men who make 7 figures plus and become the 1% population in that tax bracket are not going to be succumb to the restrictions of 99% of men. They're just not going to do that.
How are you speaking for what the 1% does?
This is insane.
Are you part of the 1%?
No, I'm not part of the 1%.
So then what? So how are you the representative for the 1%?
I never stated that I was a representative of the 1%.
You're definitely saying what the 1% does and will do and won't do, and what they gonna do this or not cheat or cheat.
Simply talking about the expectations of the 1%.
No, there are no expectations. I do not expect a man to cheat on me.
But
I do not expect a man to cheat on me.
You expect him not to cheat on you, right?
I expect him to be a man of his word. And whatever we discuss and
therefore you just stated an expectation.
I expect whatever we discuss and communicate, I expect him to be honest with me. I expect him as a man of integrity to just be honest about where he is in his life. If you are not in a place that you want to be faithful, if whatever it is, just be honest. If you say that you're a good guy, you can't say that you're a good guy and then say one thing and then say, well, I have value, so she should have the expectation that I may step out sometime. Absolutely the fuck not. Either you are a man of integrity or you are not. You can't act like it just can flip whenever, or people should have expectations of how people should be, like based on because he's a man or how much money he has. That is absolutely ridiculous to me. And that doesn't make any sense, especially from women that are supporting men to build lifestyles that may put them on in the 1%. Women are supporting them in building a life for their family that could take them to the 1%. Is she thinking in her mind what a lot of women think? Once he gets rich or once he gets on, he's going to leave me for a white girl or start cheating or start being out here in the street. And we see that happens.
Did he leave her or did he exercise an option that he had?
What?
I'm asking
if he's out, if his dick is out in the streets, then he's not even really with her. In reality, he's just
asked a simple question. Did he leave his fiance? Did he leave his fiance? When Jay-Z exercised his option, did he leave his wife?
He did. He did.
So they got a divorce.
I didn't say that they got a divorce, but he forsake the marriage in that moment.
Did he leave his duty as a provider and protector for his family?
Oh, so as long as you're providing, protecting, it's cool that you in the streets.
Okay, so what do you value in a man?
You not being in the streets means because
your
duty. No. Don't make it me because that's your duty. That is your duty as a man to provide and protect. Don't put it back on me like, oh, if you want him to provide and protect, you need to put up with. Well, is he still providing and protecting? That's what he's supposed to do. So don't flip it around like, is he providing and protecting when I ask you, why is he in the streets if he's committed to his marriage? Well, is he doing what he's supposed to do as a man? What does that have to do with him respecting his marriage? Absolutely the fuck nothing, because he's doing what he's supposed to do as a man, which is to provide and to protect. You're doing your fucking job in your role as a male on the planet. You're not doing nobody no favors. That's what you're supposed to do. Provide for your kids and take care of your family. So you acting like you're doing her a favor. You asked her to marry you. You asked her to sit the fuck down. You asked her to have your babies. And now you're saying you're doing her a favor by taking care of her and taking care of that situation. And you should be able to cheat since you doing that. Sir,
I simply asked you a question asking you
not.
Did he leave his duty as a husband? Did he leave what he brought to the table?
He put his family in jeopardy.
His family.
When you bring other people from the outside into your family, you put your family at risk. Period. You put your wife at risk. You put her life at risk. You put her health at risk. You put your kids at risk.
With these expectations in this logic, this is what keeps a woman. This is what keeps a woman single to the age of 35. With these expectations.
Again, you put your whole family at risk when you're out here with these crazy ass bitches. You don't know what they will do. Period. And you think you could just be out here and just put your family and your wife's life at risk and it's fine because you pay the bills, because you make sure people have food, because you do what you're supposed to do? It's like you want a treat for doing what you're supposed to do? I didn't grow up that way. I didn't get an allowance or any special treatment for getting A's and cleaning my room and doing what I was supposed to do.
So let me get this straight.
You don't get an allowance and extra shit for getting A's.
So hold on, let me get this straight. You live here. I'm about to ask you a question. You can rant. I'm just asking you a question to try to have a conversation.
Go ahead.
You said what is a man supposed to do? Okay, so what is a woman supposed to do?
Oh, so we're flipping it around now. We're talking about you being in the streets. What does it mean? What?
We you just stated a man's provisions and protection to a woman is what he's supposed to do. His obligation, right?
Oh.
And I'm asking you in return for that. In return for that, what does a woman supposed to do?
In return. So this is okay.
That's just a simple question. And Kay, you can help her out. Y'all are both ladies. And if you have a man that's providing and protecting for you and creating a legacy for your children, in return to that, what are you supposed to do?
What does that have to do with anything? We don't even know the situation. So what does that bring up? That Nia Long wasn't doing what she was supposed to do as a woman. So it was his right to go and
now we got to go back to the topic. We just had a conversation between me and you. When I asked you the question, now you want to go back to the top. We can do that if you want to bow out and go back to the top.
What do you specifically want a specific answer to? Since you need a specific, what is specific answer?
I can't make it no specific.
No, go ahead. What is it? What?
Okay, so hold on. Let me just break it down in the simpler terms.
No, because I'm making my point, and instead of him making answering my point, he's asking a question. That's all I'm saying. But if you want to ask a question instead of responding,
we're fulfilling what you value from us as far as family, marriage, and legacy. And I'm asking you, what are you doing? What are you fulfilling as far as what we value? Do you even know?
Most women, I think, a lot of women, because we can't speak for all. You can't speak for all men, all women. None of us can speak for all people. First of all, we only know so many people. Okay? Fucking period. So some women, I believe, are doing all the things. They're definitely doing all the things. Taking care of themselves, taking care of their family, taking care of their man, taking care of their household, being a helpmate, being understanding, being accommodating, doing the things that because what every husband needs is different. So fulfilling whatever it is that their husband needs from them. So what else do they need to be doing?
So here's the thing, and I'm glad you answered it that way. That's pretty good answer. But see, here's the thing: men are willing to make sacrifices that you guys are not willing to make. When we provide things and do like you stated, you're doing what you're supposed to, and you do what you're supposed to. Y'all are not willing to make the sacrifices we make. We can work 20, 30 years and retire and leave you with everything for the kids. You guys are not willing to do that. We're exercising options. You guys are not willing to deal with that. But we in turn, hold on, but I'm about to make a point. But we in turn can marry you and take care of kids from another man and make that sacrifice. But you can't make a sacrifice for a man that has 7 figures. That's part of 1% population that exercises option.
What sacrifice? For him to be. So me letting him cheat or being cool and staying with him when he cheat, that's the sacrifice.
Okay, so your logic. Okay, so this is how we can even score. This is how we can even score.
His family.
This is how we can even score. So with your logic, if men stop cheating, that means women who have kids with another man need to stay with that man and never marry another a man that those kids don't belong to.
What? Now you're bringing up other kids and shit. What the heck?
You know why? You know why I'm bringing it up?
What in the heck does that have to do?
Starting to be goal orientated, and they're starting to put all this knowledge on their bodies and have kids. And now when they want to marry, they're bringing all this baggage with them.
Again, you talking to 2 women that don't have kids. Like, what are you talking about? Like, you're bringing up
so I'm talking about the rule and not the exception, though. I'm talking about the majority of what's going on.
The majority of women don't have kids. Just like the majority of men in America don't have kids.
How many black women in the population are single mothers?
You tell me, since you know. Because clearly you know, because I'm wrong. Majority of women out here got kids.
And how many black women by majority are overweight?
And how many black women are step parents? How many black women's man had a kid before she married him, before she got with him?
See, that's different.
How many
most of the time, those kids are not in the house with a black man.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you asking questions that you don't have.
So how many of those? So let's just entertain it.
You don't have the answers.
How many of those black men have the kids in their household whenever they dating a stepmother?
You tell me. You got the statistics pulled up? You asking questions you don't have the answer to. You can't make me wrong when you ain't right. You don't have the answers.
Have you had a relationship with a man who had kids?
I have had a relationship.
With kids living in the household with him?
Yeah, he was a single father, actually.
Oh, God.
His baby mama lived in another city.
Oh, God. All right. So how often do you think that scenario is appears?
I don't know. This is my life. I don't know. Majority of my friends don't have kids. So I don't know. So
you saying it's equal across the board? Men are having kids in the home.
I didn't say it was equal across the board. I said I don't.
Great women are having kids in the home as single mothers.
Again, I don't know if it's equal across the board because I don't have the numbers, and neither do you. I thought you would have had the numbers, since you want to make a point based on the numbers.
You know, when you go into court, who does the court favor?
I haven't been to court. I don't have kids. I don't have baby mama drama. I don't have that. I don't do that.
But you don't know that. You're not aware of that just because it don't apply to you.
I see it happening. I see it on the internet for sure. I definitely see it. But one of the people that are close to me that have kids, one of my best friends is a widow. Her husband passed away. And then the other one, she's engaged and they have a son. The rest of my friends don't got no kids. So I don't know. I don't be in the courts. All I hear about that is when I get on these platforms and I hear people come up here, start talking about their situations, or I'm on Clubhouse and I hear people talking about their situations.
So how do you so you don't have any concern, or you don't have any awareness on why there's so much crime in the Black community?
Crime? Now we're talking about crime, Bruiser. What's going on?
Because it all relates to crime. It all relates to children that's growing up without fathers, or more susceptible to crime, jail, drugs, all that stuff. So you don't have. You mean tell me you don't have no level of awareness on that?
What is your level of awareness on men that want to be upstanding family men that marry women and be in the household with their women?
My level of
awareness.
What is the
percentages on that? Because you're talking about 18 to 25. What percentage of men 18 to 25 are ready, willing, and want to be a husband and want to do that right now in 2022? What percentage of men 18 to 25 are ready, willing, and want to be husbands and be upstanding to these women and do all of that?
There's a lot of men out there.
18 to 25.
Yeah, there's a lot of men that's not 18 to 25. I would say most men that's willing.
You said women 18 to 25.
Women,
you said that's their prime and that's their youth.
Just because your peak value is between 18 and 25 doesn't mean you marry or get in a committed relationship with the same people that the people that's in a similar age bracket.
Statistically, people marry with people within a 4-year. I pulled the stat because I read it before. Statistically, people marry people within a 4-year age range and people in the same socioeconomic tax bracket. That's what majority of people do.
That's what majority of women do. Because women hindsight only goes to believe 4 years younger than themselves or 4 years older than themselves. I noticed that.
When you look at married couple age ranges, the statistics show that most people marry people within a 4-year age gap. Most people are not marrying. Men marrying people 10 years their senior. They're not.
Men and women are different in this spectrum. A woman will marry a man with 4 years younger or 4 years older than her, all the way till she's 35, 40 years old. A man can be 50 years old and he could still find value in a 25-year-old woman. A woman won't. A 50-year-old woman won't find value in a 25-year-old man. It's a different thing. You can't sit here and try to align them like that and put them in the same pool. It's just totally different.
Oh, Jesus. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do anymore.
You have your mind fixated on that.
You have your mind fixated and you really not looking at the bigger picture of it all. Most men are not in a position or even really ready for marriage until after the age of like 33, 34.
So really marry those men.
And you're telling me if you're 25, most men need to go after women that are 18 and 20 years old. First of all, if you're a 25-year-old woman, are not ready for marriage.
If you're a 25-year-old woman, you should marry up. You should marry 5 or 10 years older.
Most 25-year-old women do, but within about a 4 to 5 year range. They don't marry people 10 plus years. 20. I mean, it happens, but most 25-year-old women, when you go on Instagram, just per my pool of what people I see currently getting married, they're marrying their college sweethearts, people in this exact same age, if not the year younger, year older. They're marrying people that they met shortly after college in the workplace around the same age group. I do not have a lot of, scroll your timeline and see how many people are marrying people 10, 15 years older. That's not happening because
we know that's not happening.
The relatability,
we're not arguing whether it's happening or not.
The relatability long term is not there.
We're not arguing whether or not it's happening. We know it's not happening. We know that it's not happening. The relatability is not there. The conversations are not the same. The maturity levels are not the same. We're not arguing whether or not that's happening. You're the only one arguing that.
Again, you can say 50-year-old men want 25-year-old women, but they don't. They don't. Half of them don't want more kids. They don't. by the time they're 50. The
I
other
didn't
half
say,
feel like
I said
can't
they
even
still
really-
find value in a
they
25-year-old
can
woman,
find
and
value
it is
in their
true.
pussy and in their youth, but conversations with them and a true partnership
why?
and a true friendship.
Do you know
no,
why,
they don't
though?
find value in them.
Do you know
They
why
see
they
them-
find value in a
they see them
25-year-old woman?
objectively. They
Do
see
you
them
know why they buy?
objectively.
Okay, so you're ranting and we're not having a conversation. Do you
We
know
are
why
having
they
a
find?
conversation.
Do you know why they find value in a 25-year-old woman
For her youth, her body, and her vagina,
and her fertility, right?
and her honestly, tell me how many 50-year-old men are like, yes, babies. Especially because half of them have kids that are fucking grown by 50.
Okay, so most
So
men, you
they're
just
like,
stated
yes,
that.
I want a baby.
Okay, so now you're ranting. I'll wait till you finish ranting because I'm
How
trying
many
to answer your
50-year-old
question.
men? How many 50-year-old men do you think want
Okay,
babies?
so when at what age, since you know men, since you know men, and you seem to say you know men so well, at what age
I didn't
range?
say that. Come on now, relax.
Okay, so at what age range are men mostly within successful enough to take care of a family?
Late 30s is when most men are in that place.
Just say 40, in between 40 and 50, right?
No, I would say between 35, like right around 35, between 35 and 40.
Well, I can correct you. It's between 40 and 50 years old.
You can't correct me. You don't know all men. That's per your opinion.
Okay,
your opinion is you think that, but I think most men
so for the
are
sake of
not even
conversation,
interested.
for the sake,
30s. Most men are looking at late 30s.
Okay, so let's just say 39. We ain't gonna even say 40 because it seems like you're trying to run away from 40. Let's just say 39,
I'm not trying
38.
to run away from 40. I just said late 30s. So between 35 and 40.
So between in the late 30s.
In their late 30s.
So are you saying these men do not want to have kids?
No, they do. But they really don't have the resources and feel like they're in a place where they're ready to until late 30s.
That's what I'm saying. So in their late 30s, now they're at a place where they can actually take care of family.
Yeah.
These men want to have kids. So
they start having kids.
Okay, so what women are they targeting? Are they targeting women that's the same age as them?
Usually women that are early 30s.
Okay, what age range?
28 to 35.
Oh God. What's wrong with 25?
Because it's not happening at 25. I don't see it. I don't see 25-year-old girls ready to it's just not as common. Women are more in that place, early 30s, late 20s, early 30s. They're looking
So you're going on record saying that a 38, 39, 40-year-old man wouldn't have a child with a 25-year-old woman.
No, I'm sure he would, but I just don't. You're changing it up. What I said was most 50-year-old men do not want 25-year-old women because they don't want more kids and they can't relate to them in reality because they've grown out of that whole just young and pussy and whatever, unless they're still in that mentality. But once they get older, they actually want to spend time with someone that they could be mentally stimulated by. Once they're older and mature, I would think. But not all 50-year-olds. Some of them are still on whoever is the youngest, tightest ass, biggest boobs. But most men by 50 have moved past that and want someone that mentally stimulates them. Okay. So yes, I do think that men in their late 30s would have a child and marry a woman in their mid 20s. But 50 something, I don't see that unless, that woman has agreed that she don't want no more kids and she'll go along with it or whatever the case may be. But again, yes, I do think that most men aren't ready for marriage and ready to settle down financially, mentally, emotionally until their late 30s. And I don't see anyone disagreeing with that. I really don't.
All right. So I understand how you think now. So, and I think everybody else know that you really don't you may want to do just a little bit more research on how men think and what men value. I would just suggest that. And for the sake of not going into a long argument, going back and forth, I'm just going to keep it like that. You're going to be surprised how men think and what they value in a woman.
I'm not.
And it's not exactly what you think, man. And whenever men are making like to try to go back to the topic, when men are earning the 1%, they have all these options. We're not even just talking about six figures. We're talking about 1%.
I wasn't talking about the 1%. I was speaking about men in general.
But the reason why I said 1% because it correlates to the type of salary that this man that we have a topic about His salary, yeah, he makes $3 million a year, 3 times 1%. Okay, so
like I said, most regular men are not where they want to be financially to do the whole family thing until late 30s. And that's why they usually start having kids like late 30s, unless they have an oops baby or
so I'm just trying to get you to understand that. But there's women out there like yourself, and there's a lot of them that they try to date these NBA players. They try to date ball players and record
like myself that try
stuff.
to date. Cut that. That is not. I don't try to date ballers. I don't do that.
I'm saying they think like you as far as having expectations for these guys to have some type of sexual loyalty.
Yeah, I expect you to be honest with me. I expect you not to lie to my face. And that's for men, women, people, anyone that says that they love me. I expect you to tell me what the fuck's going on. I don't expect for you to think that I should expect you to be a liar. Because is that this relationship?
Well, see, this is what y'all have these expectations, but y'all created this type of man. Y'all created our honesty in a fashion. And when I say that, we can't be straightforward with you. We have to finesse you just to get what we want. Right?
That is wild. You asked a woman to marry you.
I'm having a conversation with you about this topic. I'm not talking about my personal relationship.
She should not expect you to be faithful. She should not expect
what I'm saying is through history and through times, women have created this type of behavior for us. We have to finesse you. If you go out to a nightclub, you go to a bar, any man that want to smash you, he's gonna tell you everything you want to hear. You're good. Okay, so let's just play it. Hey, I'm Bruiser. Hey, Kayla, how are you?
I don't even know how I am.
Okay, so if I said the words, and I don't like saying this because I'm married, but if I just said the words that suggest sexual behavior, the first thing out of my mouth, what would you do?
Stop talking to me.
You would stop talking to me, right? You would like, get the fuck away from me, right? But I can't be straightforward on what I want. I have to go to a degree of...
Yes, you can. There are hoes out here that are DT the fuck F.
Okay, you're talking about the exception.
Down to smash.
Again, you're talking about the exception and not the rule.
Hold on. There are women out here that are down.
That is the exception.
Y'all don't want them, though. Y'all don't want them.
Are you really going to let her say that? Y'all are like that? You are the advocate for women's promiscuity.
That are willing.
I want to hear what Kay got to say about this, because she's always advocating for women's cleanliness and normal and right behavior. So let's hear it.
There are women.
I'm advocating for women. What?
Oh my God. This is ridiculous. Okay. We all know there are women that are like, absolutely, I'm DTF. Absolutely, I'm down. Are you trying to have fun tonight? Absolutely.
I'm not arguing that there's some women, but we're talking about.
I am the type of woman that said no, that you feel like you need to manipulate me to get with me instead of just get with women that want what you want. That's not a representation of me. That's a representation of you.
Exactly.
Because instead of just getting with women that are DTF, you want to manipulate good women into acting like you want to be with them so you can fuck, and then say that it's women's fault. Instead of you just going where you're wanted. Go where you're wanted. Go with the women that want what you want. Especially here in Miami. They're fucking everywhere, and they're bad too. Why do you want to work twice as hard to get to break down the walls of somebody with standards, with lies and manipulation, and then say it's her fault? And then say it's women's fault for having this bad idea of men, for saying, oh, all men are liars and all men are cheaters, and women are just out here bashing black men, but then advocate for men saying we have to manipulate you guys for you guys.
Literally just said that, which is wild.
I didn't say manipulate. I said finesse.
Are you even
Bruiser, what does finesse mean?
Oh, no.
Maybe there's a disconnect.
Tell you what you have. You still as far as manipulation, you severely decrease her option of making any choices for herself.
Bruiser,
when we're talking about finessing, we're giving you a choice, but we're presenting the choices as if they are all lucrative. And when I say finesse, I mean, hey, look, I like you. You know, I'm telling you everything you want to hear.
That's called lying and manipulating, because none of that's true.
But it is true.
Bruiser, you cannot be serious.
What in the fuck?
But in a sense, it is true though.
It's not true.
Bruce,
That's
you
what finesse is called. Finesse is when you bend the truth, when you manipulate, you say things that aren't 100% true in order to get the outcome that you want. Everybody knows that. That's what finessing is. How can I slide in here and make it seem like
we'll
I'm
wait till
one
she
way
finish ranting.
that I'm not. I'm not ranting. I'm calling out your fucking bullshit.
because
What I'm saying, hold on. What I'm saying is, when we speak to you, we're telling you who we are. We're telling you what we like to do. We're telling you our occupation. Those things are true. We're telling you we're willing to take you out of the date. Those things are true. We do want to do that. But we do have an ulterior motive. We do want to get into the cheeks. But we cannot say that up front. We can't be up front, because if we could be up front, then we can cut out all the bullshit. But we can't do that because you guys don't like that. You guys don't want to hear the truth. You want to go through the obstacles first.
Bruiser, this is the thing. Like Kayla was saying earlier, I think there's a disconnect with the people that some people choose to go after and the people that are available for the things that they seek. There are plenty of people available for that situation that you named. It's no one else's fault if you don't want those people who are readily available. If you don't want them for those purposes or whatever, that's no one else's fault. And this whole, like, earlier, I don't want to misquote you, but you said something like, women don't, or we can't tell y'all the truth because something, we're not going to get what we want. You said something like that. And then you said we have to.
You just saw a scenario.
Okay,
right
but wait,
here where I just asked her a question and she said she would tell me to get the fuck out of her face.
Bruiser, wait, but that's Kayla. That's her.
Okay, so
that doesn't take away from the fact that there are plenty of people that if you walked up to and said that, they'd be like, okay, cool, let's go. There are. This is the thing.
Why not go talk to them?
That's why I asked you, Kay, to say.
Find the people.
That's why I asked you. You said there was a plenty. Is that majority of women, or is that some women? We're talking about.
I wouldn't say that
it's a lot of women.
I wouldn't say that the majority of any group is going to do the exact thing that any one person wants at any given time.
So like, do you validate her statement on a statistic on that a lot of women
Bruiser, wait, Bruiser, because hold on. Just wait. Let's like round off, like, let's get clear on like some of the things we're talking about. Then we can move on to other things because it's getting really like convoluted at this point. So when we were talking, when you were saying that women or men have to finesse or whatever because you won't get what you want if you don't, that is you, not you literally, because I know you're married, but that's you, general, being led by fear. You're scared that if you tell the truth, you're not going to get what you want. That comes from a place of insecurity. If you're scared that you're not going to get the thing you want if you don't lie, that's a you problem. Like, that's not someone else's problem. And then earlier I asked you explicitly, like, hey, are you saying that women should never trust men? You still haven't really like answered it fully, but now you're just bringing up more and more reasons why I want to ask you that question again. Do you think women should not trust men? Earlier, you talked about if they have a certain amount of money, they're not going to be faithful. That's what you said. Now you're talking about men feel like they have to finesse or whatever. You said all these things. So would you say that it's a fair conclusion for someone to draw that men are not trustworthy? Is that what you think? Okay, so then what is all this you're talking about? Now it makes sense. I was
speaking to a specific demographic of men. When we talked about the topic, we were talking about a man who earns 1% of the population.
Okay, so top 1% are not trustworthy. Is that what you're saying?
I said it's an understanding. Somebody else brought up trust. I never said trust. So when you date somebody like, when you date a billionaire, okay, what I'm saying is you shouldn't expect him to be sexually loyal. That's all I was saying.
Okay, so now with this,
date a millionaire, when you date anybody who makes 7+ figures, I think, me personally, I think it's foolish to expect them to be to have some type of faithfulness sexually.
Even if they gave you their word and they took a vow of marriage.
Well, if they gave you their word that they did it, then perhaps maybe. But I'm saying for the most part, these guys aren't really sexual loyal. I mean, and you try to relate it to a guy that makes 6 figures or whatever. I'm saying like, or me or whatever. I'm like, look, if I tell my wife something, I'm gonna expect her to believe it. And if she tells me something, I'm gonna believe it until she show me otherwise. So I guess you can call that trust, or you can call that, I think there's a word for it, is benefit of the doubt or whatever. You can do that if you want to. I think that's a more suitable term for it. But as far as that type of relationship with when you dating NFL players, NBA players, rappers, millionaires and stuff, I think trust is a foolish term to try to relate to a relationship in those cases, because of the amount of options you have going into a relationship with these type of people.
Okay, so
and
again,
it shows all the time. We see it all the time.
Wait, because we're getting further away from like. So we talked about that earlier, and I said that people like you or me aren't really like relating with the Beyoncés and J-Los of the world who have been in these situations, because those are some women who are seen as like top tier, whether you're talking about now or back when they were 20 or 25 or whatever. They've been, people that some would see as top tier type of women, in terms of
they're in their value time period.
In terms of the things that you said matter. So seeing those women like end up in certain situations, it's just, I don't think it's something that we can just say, oh, well, they should have expected it. I don't think that's fair, because we don't know what it's like to be those women. So like, just like coming back to what we're talking about now, and you're saying that you said men have to finesse. I think that's really problematic, because there are plenty of men that tell the truth and they get good results. They get what they want. In fact, I've talked about this before. Some men will tell the truth and it like makes women competitive. Like, no, I'm going to get them. No, I'm going to get like, that's a thing. So I don't think that all men have to lie to get what they want. Only some men. Now, do most people lie? I don't know. That's a whole different conversation, but I think you're selling men short by saying that men in general have to lie to get what they want. You think men have to just generally lie to get what they want?
Okay, show me a scenario where men were straightforward on how he felt and it worked.
What do you mean?
At a rate to where it was common and enough to be a statistic for men to behave in that fashion. Show me a world where that happens.
I'm not talking about like right now. I'm just talking about just my experience and observation. I'm not speaking on statistically significant things, because I don't know if either of us have any statistics about that particular thing right now. We're just talking about opinions. So as it relates to lying, I know that a lot of people lie. Like, I'm not disagreeing with you there, but I think that if you're saying you have to lie to get what you want, that's a problem, because if you're really honest, you get what you actually want.
I didn't say. See, when you use the words like lie and you try to associate it with what I said, then that's kind of wrong, because I never said we had to lie.
Finesse and tell them what they want to hear. Maybe
right, because if you're saying you lie, I'm telling you something that's not true. I'm saying the things that we are saying when we're getting to vet a woman are true. We do hold these capacities that we're telling you we hold. We are these type of people. We do have the personality or character. I'm saying we're withholding how we truly feel for the sake of politeness and respect that you women have demanded us to behave in such a manner.
So are you saying,
I'm saying we cannot behave in such a manner because you guys don't like that.
So you're saying just like basics of pragmatic communication that all adults, or not, let me not say all, but that most adults should have when interacting with people in general.
You guys do it as well.
What? So once you get to a certain age, in my observation and experience, you don't just go out blurting out everything that you think. I mean, I don't think that that's a man thing or a woman thing. I think that that's just a thing that you start to do as you get older. You might be walking you might be in the grocery store and think something. You're not going to say it out loud. That's like what toddlers might do.
We live in a community where we can't be straightforward. You guys do the same thing.
But we do, though. We do. Look at Nick Cannon. I mean, there are plenty of men out here that are living these lies, and the women around them are dealing with it and have no problem with it, and they're honest with them. In reality, a lot of men aren't in a position to, one, request that, and then two, a lot of men feel like the woman that they want, they know is not willing to deal with that. So they have to tell her what she wants to hear and act in a certain way and keep things from her, because he knows that she is not willing to deal with that because she is a good woman, because she's not on the streets. Instead of, I mean, it's just a double standard. When men want the good girl, you know what I mean? They want that, but they still want to be able to do whatever they want. So they know they have to act a certain way versus the way that they could be if they were just with the random girls who let them do whatever. So that's really what it is. Because in reality, they can get with the random girls that let them do whatever and do what they want and be happy. But for some reason, they don't want those women because I guess the shame of it. They want the good girl because that is a better image on them. And no guy wants a girl that everybody's been with, blah, 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 blah. But they know those type of women are going to require respect, integrity, honesty. And so they have to pretend that they have those things in order to get with that woman and then say she should expect me to do whatever. You know what I mean? Like I should be able to tell her whatever, but she should know in her mind, she should know that I'm a man of this type of stature and I'm going to do whatever anyway.
And Kayla, isn't that really sad that someone would think so low of themselves that they think they have to lie to get a good woman? Like if you were
not lying again, we're not lying.
Wait, I'm just speaking on what Kayla.
I know you want that to stick with us as men, but we're not lying to you.
Yes, they are.
It's just like you telling. It's just like you telling us
now. Wait,
can I just make this
now
point?
Men don't lie. I'm confused on your.
I'm trying to make a point so you can understand it.
So men lie or they don't? You've kind of bounced around on this, and I've been trying to get an answer all night.
Okay, so let me answer this question let me just try to draw a comparison so you can understand it on the behalf of how women behave. So when women are meeting a man, what do women value out of a man?
Why every time we have this conversation, instead of just answering what she says, now you want to ask us the same question?
I'm letting you know you guys do the same thing, and you're not necessarily lying. You're just not telling it straightforward that you want our provisions and protection in our salary.
What?
If we're broke, if a man come to you and he's broke, what are you going to tell him? I'll get your broke ass away from me. I don't want to talk to you, right? Kayla, you said it on another show. You don't even entertain people who don't earn a certain amount of money.
What does that have to do with every man, regardless of your earning, where it is?
You're not going to be
able to provide for your woman. Now, the level of provision you're able to give depends on the man, of course, but every man should be able to provide for his woman. So you saying that we're lying about that? I'm not lying about that. I'm straight the fuck up about that.
You women can be straightforward. You women can be straightforward about what you want from us, and we can take no offense from it. We don't call you liars. We don't call you polite. We don't call you nothing. We just. What are we lying about? We just accept what you want from us, right?
But when are we lying about what we want from you? I don't know any woman.
I'm just trying to make a point. So you can tell us, hey, we want you to be able to provide and protect. We want you to have the right salary. We don't want no broke nigga. We don't want no scrub.
Of course, if you can't take care of yourself, who wants to be with somebody that can't even take care of themselves?
If we tell you what we want from you,
you literally just spent several minutes talking about the things that make a woman valuable. You did it just today. Like no one attacked you. No one did anything to you. You said the things that you find valuable in a woman. Nobody said anything. What are you talking about?
Both parties want loyalty. If you're being in a committed relationship, both parties want loyalty. In terms of what each party wants from each other, that is something different. A woman wants provision and protection. A man
couldn't
wants
make my point. So there's no way you guys can understand what I'm saying. So when you sit here and say I don't make sense, it's because you cut me off and I'm not able to finish my point.
Go ahead.
What I'm trying to say is, you guys can be straightforward with us and tell us what you want. You want this type. You're not talking to nobody with this type of salary. You're not talking to no broke nigga. You don't want no scrub. But if we in reverse tell you what we want from you directly and we be blunt about it, it's a problem. Then you want to Andrew Tate us and ban us and report us. We can't do that. This is a society that men can't state what we want.
Yes, they can.
Why do you think
they can? It's becoming more and more socially acceptable.
And Kayla,
has babies all over the place.
And
I don't understand why you think it's not. It is.
Think about marketing. Think about the things that are put out in the media for how women should be, how women should look, how women should whatever. Are you
both Sarah and the media still deal with Peter?
You know what? If we tell you, hey, we want you
to do it with women.
If we tell you we want you to be beautiful, fit, and nutritious and healthy, you will say we're fat shaming.
No,
Bruiser.
I've never said that.
That is literally the thing that is put out. Look at what you can't be serious. People say these things all the time. Look at magazine covers. Also, look at marketing and media. Look at all the things. The biggest group of women that are represented heavily are which ones? The ones that people would consider beautiful, right? The ones that people would consider fit or whatever. That's why this whole movement about representation even started, because people did put forth the things that they wanted to see in whatever, like in these, media spaces. So you acting like men just have been silenced all these years. I don't understand. Men have literally had, their opinions being heard. And I'm not sure what you're talking about. Even you earlier, like I said before, you said about the woman's fitness, how she looks, her body count, whatever the case, all these things. You mentioned that right here today. And I didn't attack you. Neither did Kayla. It was just a conversation. No one said anything. It was
y'all bowed out from that conversation. Y'all took it back to I remember making that statement. I said, if you don't want to talk about it any further, we can go back to the topic. If you don't want to go and talk about it any further.
I didn't disagree with you on what men want. I know when men want fit, feminine, look good and to take care of yourself. And I never disagreed with you on that. On
low body count.
What men want. We understand the trade-off. We know the trade-off. P and F and F. Women want protection, provision. Men want fit and fertile. We know the trade-off. Now, we got into a different topic of what people expect and have communicated and have made vows to be mutual in a relationship, which is honesty and faithfulness. That is something that both people expect from one another and have agreed on when they get married. So that has nothing to do with the other part of the trade-off of relationships. That is normal. No one's doing anyone any favors. Men want fit and fertile. Women want protection and provision. No one's doing anyone a favor. These are the things that men are supposed to bring, and these are the things that women are supposed to bring.
And people also have,
and you got men out here that's providing it.
We also have to remember that in 2022, most households that, let's just say, for the sake of the example, have a man and a woman living together.
Yep.
Both people work. Things are not the same as they used to be. So with that being said, I just think that things get kind of confused and mixed up for some people because they just don't think about the fact that things are different now than they were maybe in
But Kay, maybe he was talking about the 1% where the woman doesn't have to work and he provides the lifestyle, because I thought he was talking about men in general. So for me, it's like men in general, we both work. We both bring money into this house. Even if you think that you should be able to be out here and exercise your options because of what? What?
And even if we're talking about
I was speaking to the demographics of 1% earners.
Even if we're
Okay.
talking about some of the richest men in the United States, their wives and their women work. They do things. They're not just sitting at home. If we're talking about the richest, I'm talking about, they have careers. They do things. Like that is true. That's not me making
What are
it
we
up.
talking? Like, what do we get? Like, what point are you trying to make?
The point that I'm making is that things are different now. So like there may be a high earning man, but he likely will also have a wife who is high earning.
I'm glad you said that. Things are getting different now, which means because of recession, the 1% population has become even more attractive. You don't agree?
So now you're saying now that men in the 1% have even more options than they had before. Is that what you're saying?
But you're not taking
it's more attractive. So what? Okay, so
Loser,
let's just talk about the 15% of men that's making six figures.
You cannot look at one aspect. You can't just say, because I get where you're going, but if we're gonna have like an honest conversation about this, we can't only look at the fact that, you know, we can't only look at the man's side of things. We have to also think women are earning more now than they ever were before. That's also something that has to be factored in. So
why are they earning that?
But he's talking about the 1%. So in reality, their money doesn't matter to the men in the 1%. They don't care about that. Even though a lot of them have high earning women, whether it's Dwayne Wade, whether it's Jay-Z, their wives are high earning too. But for the majority, he's saying majority of men in the 1% don't care. You know, that's not a factor in them picking the women, where with men in the regular percentage do consider that. That's where 50-50 came from. Men that don't have it and want women to contribute.
I don't know what the 1%. I mean, I wish there was a 1%er watching that could call in. I don't know.
Let's go ahead and go to the housekeeping notes while we're here. And I'll show the super chats.
I don't know.
Just ask the super chat. Is there somebody in the chat that makes 1%? It's really not hard to make $1 million.
We'll go through them. The chat is open. I have dropped the link. Just be on camera. Y'all come up and get a part of this little debate that we're having here. If you're in the 1%, that would be even better. But just men in general, I really, and women, want to know your opinions on this in terms of just what we're talking about, toxic relationships, why there's such a trend, why this is such a thing. And then, you know, on the video that we saw, I think I'll play it again just so people can see it. That Keita Rose was talking about in terms of it doesn't really matter whether you're everything the man wants, fit, feminine, gorgeous, popular, high earning, whatever. Men that want to be disrespectful and want to be community property are always going to do that regardless of your fit, femininity, whatever. But definitely call in and we will see about that. So we'll start. Melanated Lux, thank you so much for becoming a YouTube member. Big 50 ball, what up? To Darwin says die, okay? $50. Adam Levine and the fact that his wife is okay with it in this convo. If you don't like it, date a lower quality guy that will simp for you. There aren't many high performing dudes capable of monogamy. A go-getter is gonna go get it, including multiple women. Miss Parker, $5. So the VP's wives was justified to cheat with a higher earner because she is fit, too friendly, and feminine. She had options too. These options. Again, Miss Parker, thank you so much. $5. I guess she's saying Ime, his first name, didn't protect Nia by being sloppy. She got blindsided by the scandal. Their business got told. Ime didn't protect Nia's reputation or privacy. That's real. Whereas people like LeBron have always protected. I mean, we've never heard anything ever, publicly like this Nia Long situation from men like LeBron, who some may say and may know, has women out here places, right? But, he protects his family unit, his family image, and all of that by none of these scandals ever coming out. Can you hear a tree fall in the forest? No. So I think that, there's a lot of layers to the situation, but thank you for the super chats, you guys. And go ahead and call in and we'll see what you guys have to say. I'll go ahead and play the video. Well, JR got rid of the video, so I guess I can't play it again. But yeah,
I just gotta say one thing about this 1% thing. So, I just did a quick Google. according to Forbes, and it's different depending on the state. Like some states it might be 450,000, some it might be 900,000, whatever. But I think on average it's around $600,000 that you're bringing in a year to be in the top 1%. And then it says in terms of net worth, it's about 11.1 million net worth to be in the top 1%. So like when we're talking about those types of numbers, like having a net worth of $11 million, bringing in $600,000 per year, I think it's just a totally different conversation. And I think that it makes sense that people who are nowhere near that would have a certain view. But if you are a woman from a family, like let's say you're a Paris Hilton or somebody, should you just expect that your husband should be doing certain, like, no, she is in these groups. She's higher than a lot of these people in terms of net worth and earnings and things like that. So I think when we start getting into that socioeconomic level, that things become a little bit different. And they might relate to each other in a different way than people like us might see them.
Now you bring that up, though, Kay. What is the expectation, from women that are that? If you're a Vanderbilt or a Hilton, or
right.
As a woman, you were just born into a wealthy family, even if your dad's just a lawyer, you know what I mean, or a judge or something like that. Is the expectation that you, as a high value woman, in terms of just socioeconomically, what does that mean for you? Does that mean that you have a better chance of him being faithful since you come from money and will inherit a lot of money or are worth a lot of money? Like, or is it because you're the high value one in the relationship? Do you have the right to explore your options and have, boy toys here and there? Is that
when you're in between 18?
If I'm the high earner in the relationship and I make $600,000 a year and he only makes $2,000, does that mean that I,
Okay, so show me a population of women who are dating men.
No, just answer this question. Not because they're obviously women out here.
So I'll answer the question if you can agree that right now for this question. We're being disingenuous. Yes. I'll answer the question.
Sure, please answer. I'd like to know.
Okay, so we're being disingenuous, and I'll answer the question. You said if you're making.
I'm asking a question. Should Paris Hilton be able to exercise her options? She's engaged. She's married, I think, and her sister Nikki is already married and has 2 kids. Nikki Hilton. So, is it acceptable for Nikki and Paris to be able to do what they want since they're the high earner or going to be the high value one, definitely based on inheritance in their relationships, in their marriages?
Okay, so are you saying they're exempt from a man cheating on them because they're the high earner?
He's asking you what do you
I'm asking you, do you think that because they are high earners or high value or whatever, they should be able to exercise their options in the marriage, just like the men can that are the high earning ones in the marriage?
Because a woman earns more than a man, she's able to exercise her options. Is that what you asking?
Yeah, I'm asking, is she able to exercise her options? You're saying men in the 1%, you shouldn't expect, they're high earning. They have all these options. We shouldn't expect them to.
I get what you're saying. I'm going to answer it. So because she's a high earner, she's not expected to exercise her options because a woman's promiscuity is detrimental to her value.
As a high earning woman? As a Paris Hilton or a Nikki Hilton?
Value is not within her pocket.
As a Paris Hilton or a Nikki Hilton, you think that
you can be you can have Oprah Winfrey money. You can have Oprah
based on her sexual.
It does not matter. Your pocketbook doesn't increase your value as a woman. And it doesn't justify promiscuity. Once you get into promiscuity,
I didn't say justify promiscuity. But you're justifying male promiscuity. So you're based on his income.
What I'm saying is, promiscuity
based on his income, he should be expected to be promiscuous. He should be expected to exercise options. And I'm asking you the same
what
thing
I'm trying to tell you in
about
short,
Nicki and Paris Hilton.
What I'm trying to tell you in short, promiscuity for men and women have a totally different effect on our value.
Okay, so you're saying
you said it was based on the men that are in the 1% and the men that are high earning.
And you try to correlate it to a woman
being men. You said it was based on because he's high earning, not because he's a man.
Kayla, can you put the link back in there?
But it also, what we're talking about promiscuity on a woman. We're talking about a woman having a high earning and exercising her options. What I'm telling you,
because that's what you said about men.
I'm telling you, a woman's value is it depreciates once she began to exercise her options as far as promiscuity goes, because promiscuity is detrimental to a woman's value. It's not the same as it being detrimental.
But meanwhile, the
okay, for example, a woman being promiscuous and losing her value is equivalent to a man losing his ability to provide.
So then why are these very high earning,
losing his job? He don't have any resources. He don't have any value. He can't add any value. He don't have any ambitions to go out and earn any.
Wild, because a lot of high earning men be with hoes.
Bruiser. So then why are so many women who people would consider a certain type of woman based on whatever, that are very, in the public eye and high earning, why are they getting married to these very quote unquote high value men if you think that they are now worthless or less worthy? You didn't say worthless, but they're losing value. If you think they're losing value because of who they've been with or whatever, why are they pulling so many of these quote unquote high value men?
I mean, Neo literally.
So you said a lot, and I'm trying to break.
Okay, let me be more concise. Let me be more concise. I'll be more concise. Why is it that women such as a Kim K, a Paris Hilton, whoever, that people might view a certain way based on certain things that have happened in the past, why are they then still able to get with these more upper echelon, quote unquote, types of men, these quote unquote high value men, if what you're saying is true about their worth being lower? Why are they still marrying and getting with these very quote unquote high value men?
I just saw Tay Diggs in April on.
It is called status.
Looking so cute.
Okay, so Bruiser,
she definitely been in the streets.
It's called status. Men value status.
Oh, okay. So
men being with a lot of other men gives her status now.
I didn't say that. She didn't say that. That's not the question she asked me.
Bruiser, what gives her status?
Her popularity, her fame.
Being with other high value men. So because she was a hoe with high value men, she has status versus the women that are hoes with regular guys.
I didn't say that. I said her fame. And you didn't just mention Kardashian, you mentioned other women too that date famous men.
Okay,
I just said Tay Diggs in April, who had a very public thing for being with two dudes in the same fucking group. So still pulling high value men.
How long is her relationship last?
Sorry. Bruiser. So her fame. So are you saying that fame and status are important to men, whereas money is not?
I'm saying your fame and your status has a better chance of getting you these type of men than a woman without fame and status, a Kanye or anybody like that.
Okay,
that's what I'm saying.
So then on your list,
about listen to who you're talking. You're talking about Kim Kardashian of all women.
This whole time, like, come on, we're not doing much different from each other. So we're talking about high earning groups, right? When
these men like Kanye West is not in a relationship with Kim Kardashian for her sexual market value. They're not in it for that.
What was he in it for?
They're in it for her status and her resources. For the status and their resources. They
always have more money than Kim. What?
Her sexual market value is depleted. How old is Kim Kardashian?
Kanye helped Kim make more money, not vice versa.
Fuck yeah.
Wait, Bruiser, resources. Can you
Interesting.
translate that word into another word? What resources are you talking about?
You really gonna ask me to translate resources?
Yes, and this
Let's
is the
not talk
reason I'm
about.
asking.
But Kay, let's not talk
Because-
about Kim K. Let's
Well,
talk about
whoever.
regular. Let's talk about regular status hoes like Ari the Don, April from Love and Hip Hop.
See,
Let's
but
talk about women like that. Joy. Let's talk about women like that that are
Kayla.
constantly getting wifed and
Kayla.
You're
picked
gonna
up.
sit here and say
Like a
Kim
high value
Kardashian
man.
sexual market
Kayla.
value.
People will go on and
Yes,
on.
they're
and
How about the
known
one from
hoes.
Atlanta?
They're
Wait,
known
Kayla.
hoes.
People will
And
go on and
high
on.
value men
about-
still get with them.
People will go on and on about how men don't care about this or that. And oh my goodness, if you do this, you're this type of woman. But then when we talk about high earning women with this status and resources, now suddenly those things matter. So which one is it? It matters or it doesn't
Hey,
matter.
if
That's
any
all I'm
man, any man on this panel and in this chat marry Kim Kardashian, what do you think they're gonna marry her for?
I don't
It is
know.
not her BBL.
What is it?
I'm asking you a simple
What do you
question.
think?
Well,
What
I
do you
don't know.
think- Hold on, you guys. What do you think, we on Lock Nation? What if you're marrying Kim? What do you marry her
Bruiser,
for?
you're
Obviously,
contradicting
the
yourself.
publicity. But if you were Tay Diggs and you got with April, what would you be with her for? Like,
Well-
why would you get with her versus someone that doesn't have a publicly whole reputation?
Well, it definitely would be about the sex. Wouldn't be no doubt about that. But
So it would be for the sex, okay? But
I
she's a
mean,
known hoe. She's known to be out here in the streets.
well, hey, versus a Kim Kardashian. I mean, I really don't know what don't know what they do, and they are popular as hell. Even the thick, ugly one is popular as hell. So, I don't know. I'm stuck on that one, but I'm curious. Based on the value of a status woman, right? What I'm trying to get what Homeboy is trying. I'm trying to get all of this, how a relationship works nowadays. So you're saying a woman's value is based on her looks versus a man is based on how his work ethic is explain that to me.
All right. So what I'm saying is a woman's value is based on her. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
What I'm saying is a woman's value is based on her sexual market value. So let's just try to look at sexual market value, because I thought we had an understanding of what that, and maybe we have different understanding about it. So let's just look at it like this. It's like a credit report.
Well, I'm new. I'm
okay. So it's like a credit report or a stock, or someone who is interested in investing in what you have to offer. So if you're valuable assets you provide to a potential mate, you know what I'm saying? Oftentimes this value is what enables retention. You know what I'm saying? And the retention is what allows couples to have lasting relationships. Your assets can be attractive enough to get attention, but at the same time, those assets will fail to obtain retention if the value of the assets are depreciated. You get what I'm saying?
Okay.
So for me personally,
her looks starting at a young age.
Her youth
and
her youth is like number one.
Okay. So
because of fertility.
I'm a 35, 36-year-old man. I am supposed to obtain a woman with such status, correct? And depending upon, the age, like 20, 21. And I'm supposed to get that person. And over in due time, do I keep the woman or do I just obtain somebody else? Because help me understand what I need to do because I'm married. And I'm trying to understand and how this in this life and how this situation, how this thing is supposed to work. Because I'm hearing two sides of two different arguments here. I'm hearing your arguments. I'm hearing somebody else's argument. So help me understand that.
So you're saying you're supposed? Are you asking me? Or you said you're supposed to be with a woman who's within that range or that group of that validates her sexual market? Are you asking me that question?
No, to me, it doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter what if you bring value to the table. That's great. That's a plus. It doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter how you look. It doesn't matter how you dress. As long as you're in my presence, and I am a man of stature, and I am a man who have thank godly grew up with both parents. I know how to act as a man, as a male.
So
and she should know how to act as a woman.
Is this what you're telling your sons? Is this what you would tell your sons is when they go out to date and find a worthy mate to marry? Or are you going to tell them it doesn't matter how old they are? It doesn't matter their body count. It doesn't matter their health and fitness.
Okay. What is okay?
Are you going to tell your sons this when they?
But another thing, got body counts. What's a number? What's a number here? 5?
30.
30?
100.
Who cares?
Hi, Mike.
Who cares? I care.
Hold on, wait.
Why?
Are you going to tell your sons that a woman that have 100 men on her body count?
First of all, I only have one son. You ain't grown
at 25.
Understand this conversation.
Okay, so I can just hypothetically, your son is coming to your advice and he finds a woman that's 22, 23. Let's say he met half the battle and she's a young woman. He's 25 or 28 or whatever, and she's in her 20s and she's got 100 bodies. Are you going to tell him that doesn't matter?
Okay, so what's the count on him? If he has 100, if she has 100 bodies, what's the count on him?
It doesn't matter.
It takes two to tango.
Women don't value a man's body count.
May I ask you a question?
Sure.
Your future daughter-in-law, so your son's wife, would it be important to you that he has a substantial connection with her, like they're bonded as mates, husband and wife? Would that matter to you that they have that relationship?
Of course, they're going to have that from the get-go.
No. So what you're saying
is they're going to do is I would expect them to be friends first.
Wait, that's not what I was alluding to. What I'm alluding to is that research shows that women with a lot of sex partners lose the ability to pair bond with their mates. So if you're saying that body count doesn't matter, it actually does.
Why does she have a lot of body count?
Is this even the topic though? Because like we said earlier, we were talking about
understand why body count matters.
And high value men wife hoes all the time. It only when you have actual status, you do whatever you want. You do whatever the fuck you want. You care less about what other people think, because if it was the case, then these men would not be wifing all these hoes and being with all the same women. Like, they clearly don't give. Neo literally married a stripper. Multiple high value men have married strippers and hoes. So I'm saying that when men are lower value, the status of the woman matters more. When they're high value, they do whatever the fuck they want more. That's the difference.
No, that's not true.
Yeah, because nobody shamed Neo out of marrying Crystal, did they?
But that's a false narrative, and it's like you're.
Did you go in on Neo about marrying Crystal?
No, wait. I didn't know her history. I didn't care that much to investigate.
I'm talking about exceptions.
Yeah, I'm like, y'all are literally talking.
I'm not talking about the rule.
From entertainment.
If you didn't know about Crystal, who was a public figure who has information that's out there, how would you know about a random woman that you met wherever? How would you, if you don't know about someone that has public information out there? How would I know about a private person?
You don't know the local hoes in where you grew up or in your locality?
How many women are you going to find
in high school?
No body count
or at college?
Unless they
say it again.
How many women are you going to find?
Yeah,
with a low body count.
There's a lot of women out there.
There's
unless they're with their parents.
Women are just somebody got this narrative that women are just slutty and hoes. than not. There's actually really women out there that cares about their value. It exists, man.
I agree.
A lot of women are in relationships and they're with one man for years.
Some of these women married a man that they gave their virginity up.
That doesn't mean that they weren't single
act like
or
this
whatever.
is not possible. I don't got nothing against women, and I'm not sitting here gonna say this, but me of all people, I can sit here and tell you that there's women out here that have low body counts. It exists, bro. We're just saying that these women, there are a lot of women that don't recognize it until it's too late.
Okay, but like I do want to hear about some thoughts on the topic though. Two, these were the different topics of the night because I feel like we're going off. I don't know where we're going, but what do you, Trigger Mike, or We on Lock, have to say about some of the topics tonight, which is, you know, do people mistake toxic for fun and stable for boring, and why are toxic relationships seem to be the trend in the media? And if you guys saw the video of Kita talking about, you know, even the most fit, feminine, gorgeous women that do everything and are everything and still get cheated on, still get disrespected. So it doesn't really matter in terms of how you look or your status or all of that when there are, you know, men that are always going to do whatever they want regardless. So yeah, what do you guys think about the topics of tonight?
Well, I can only speak on my personal relationship. I like boring. Boring keeps me out of trouble. I'm for real. I've been married for almost 12 years. Been with my woman for damn near 21 years. Life is good when it's boring, because being out there in the slutty world, especially in Las Vegas, Nevada, where I live, where so-called sluts are everywhere, you can get into trouble real quick. And celebrities come here all the time. And men get into stuff they shouldn't even be getting into. They get in all these relationships and they end up jumping out the freaking window. So I don't want to be in that category. So boring to me is good. That's it.
Okay. So for me, I absolutely agree on that point that they said, where you say people think toxicity is fun. Yeah, it's not fun at all. The reason why is that I've never seen anybody leave with any of the parting gifts from being in toxic relationships or toxic situationships and have good things to say about it, i.e. children, STDs, circumstances you can't get rid of. So yeah, it's actually not fun. I mean, We on Lock, we can definitely agree on that. I tell my wife, I told her bold face, I married you because you're, in a sense, boring. All right, I'm that dude. And I feel like, you know, to what me and Bruiser were talking about, that's what men have to look for ultimately. I've always been attracted to not the chick who's trying to show her whole body off, the girl who's hiding that big ass booty in the school hoodie. You see what I'm saying? That I went looking for that girl. Like, she a nerd. And when I put her in some clothes, everybody gonna be like, damn, who was that? I leave it alone. Right. So I really think, I mean, it's just the time that we live in, but I think we're pushing it so much on one extreme. Right now, America is for sale. Sex is for sale. You know, that is our culture. It's woven into everything. I mean, think about it. I think we're all around the same age, maybe give or take 10 years. The stuff that was on TV, like you could barely get a kiss on the lips, was like, ooh, you know, from Saved by the Bell. You know what I mean? It was a big thing. Now they're smashing on TV, like what is called softcore on regular TV. They got softcore porn. It's crazy. So that's a big night and day difference to the sex that we advertise in America. So if you push that sex on one extreme, you're going to get the other extreme. I predict that by the time my son is my age, a woman in a hijab will be the sexiest thing a man ever seen, because we're just tired of seeing so much damn skin. It's all free. Sex is free. Attention is free. So we're going to get tired of it naturally. So it's one thing to say, you know, they're pushing all this toxicity out there and people like it, but just like anything else, you're going to get tired of it. So that's my two cents.
Ain't nothing wrong with a little skin here and there. Nothing wrong with it.
Here and there. No, but whole ass, bro. Like, there are women I've seen their nipples.
I get it.
Their butt cheeks, and I don't know their first name. That's never happened in history. You know, so
I saw a nipple a couple days ago, so that might.
Yeah, I don't know your name, but you gotta call your titty ring. That's crazy,
right?
You know,
right. That's crazy.
That's yeah, interesting. You guys just,
I really want Mike, you've been up here before and we've, had conversations in the group and, although we don't always agree, you're very respectful and we can always have like a conversation, right? So like when I saw you in the back, I was like, man, I really want his opinion on a very specific thing that we've talked about tonight. So I don't know if you were watching like during, a little bit earlier in the show and even close to when you called in, when we were talking to Bruiser about just like things that make a woman valuable and the whole like, well, then how do all these women who some would consider to be, I don't know, whatever derogatory term they want to use, end up with these high value, quote unquote, men? So what do you think about that? Like, do you think resources and status of a woman are important, but only after she gets to a certain level? Because, we've all heard the talking point, like men don't care about this and that, right? You've heard that before.
Yeah.
Which Bruiser even said tonight. He brought up like looks and, fitness and bodies and whatever. He brought that up. But then when I started talking about like the Paris Hiltons, and actually I love Paris Hilton, so, no shade to her. But when I brought up Paris Hilton, he was talking about, well, she has resources and status. So when is it important and when is it not? Do you think that it's like not important until you become a multimillionaire? Then as a woman, your resources and status are important, or what? Like, I was just trying to get like,
it kind of goes into what I said before. America is for sale. So what can you benefit from that person? So I would attribute it more to the man. What does he have to gain? Because if it's an exception. It's not a rule. These men with resources do not wife hoes by and large. They have legacies to protect. Their wives are usually people you don't know. That's a majority of men with status, right? They have upstanding women as wives. Now, in Western culture, we do this thing. I heard what you said, Kayla, about why are they running through the same women. That is something dealing with the status and what that woman can do for them. And here's where it actually goes wrong. So y'all remember Kanye, like the first Kanye, 04 Kanye, when he came out, all that stuff he was talking. Never in our life would you describe somebody like Kim Kardashian and picture Kanye getting with her, less having 4 children with the lady. And the reason why, he was like, I guess we say lost for a moment, he was likely focused on the status that she has and what it could do for him. That's why he made those choices. But we recently just found out how he really feels about her. You see what I'm saying? That's why I've always said it's more of a mistake, because now he's letting you know he thinks she's a hoe. He thinks she can't take care of kids. That's what he's felt about her the whole time. So he made a mistake, but men don't go for women like that, nor do they, unless there's status involved or unless there's something in it for them. They're actually doing it to be advantageous for themselves.
Could that apply? Because, when you start getting up in the earning categories or whatever, I understand, but I also think that could apply for just regular everyday people too. Like if a man is making an average salary, let's say 40K or whatever around there somewhere, and then he meets a woman that makes 200K, do you think that man is going to be like, it just doesn't matter? Or will he also have a level
She's not going to be with him.
Wait, hold on.
Before Kim, Kanye was with Amber Rose. What benefit was that to him? He upgraded her. He gave her status. I never heard of her before he was with her. She had absolutely no status. She was a stripper from Philly. So and he cheated on her with Kim.
But we're also talking about, you said they do what they want.
Once they get to a certain level of money, they don't care what niggas think. They're going to do what they want.
Yeah,
and they're going to go after what they want physically and whatever. They don't care once they get money.
Yeah, he's just a man making bad choices after a certain point in his life.
So do you think, though, because this is the part that keeps getting kind of like glossed over, do you think that that same concept can apply to men that are just average? Like they will look at a woman and be like, okay, you know, she has her stuff together, she's making this much money, so this could be beneficial to me. Do you think that, because I hear a lot of men in these spaces specifically talking about how they don't care about degrees, they don't care about money, they don't care about, when really, like in a lot of circles, the bare minimum quality like is that the woman has to have a degree. Like a lot of people, you know, are in that situation where they won't even look at a woman that's not, you know,
a lot of men,
because they can't afford to take care of her.
I think what it more so has to do with is the fact that women just have degrees. It's not that we're looking for them or that women just have them, whether they're in biology or basket weaving. Most women actually have degrees now. I've never got together and gave my buddy a high five like, oh, she graduated.
Mother efforts underachieving. Y'all
show me the population where a degree was a deal breaker for a man.
Like I've never in my life. I mean, and you know, our friends are men. We've never had parties talking about something. My wife just got that degree. It's never happened, ever. But
we can't deny there is a culture of men that want 50-50 and want women that make a certain amount of money. There is a culture of that out here.
So
or just in terms of that.
So let me actually
in terms of certain families, like certain families that are well-to-do, a lot of them want their children marrying a woman that is also highly educated, that has a certain type of job. Like we know this, like for some people. I'm not saying it's everybody or most. I'm just saying.
I think y'all are like on the right track, but y'all are like missing the reasons that comes with it. Maybe all the qualities we like just happens to be better represented in a college-educated woman, but it's not centered around a degree, if that makes sense.
I don't think either one of us said that.
For me, I am a sapiosexual. All right. So for some reason, a woman being very studious and all that type of stuff, it's always been very attractive to me. But I've never in my life said, you got to have a master's degree to fuck with me. I've never said it. So some of the qualities I like have to do with a woman that's educated, but it's not a requirement by any means.
Y'all don't know this stuff.
You can get educated other ways, other degree. But you do see that Nikki Hilton, like he could have, her husband could have, he's a Rothschild. Her husband could have married any woman that he wanted. But per legacy, he married another woman of a high value of status.
That's what I'm saying.
To continue his legacy, because that's what marriage was for. That was the purpose. It wasn't honestly even ever about your femininity and all. It was about legacy. So me wanting to merge my family legacy with another family legacy, that's where marriage
Ivanka Trump
started. And then it evolved from there. But even the community that I come from, my dad expects whatever man I bring home to have a certain level of, I mean, he's a doctor, my mom's a broker. They only expect a certain level of man per the legacy they want to continue in the family with both me and my brother. My brother's girlfriend is a well-to-do accountant, and that was something that attracted him and comes from good family. So like it's not just the high value earners or whatever. Men do value certain things in women outside of just her attractiveness and femininity. They do.
Yeah, you're talking about things that apply literally to 1% of people. Like you have to know that.
Me and my family are 1% of people?
No, yeah, you are.
Oh.
You are. You're talking about legacy here. When most people, or 70% of our own people, were raised by single parents and don't have a legacy to continue on. So I get what you're saying, but this ain't Bridgerton. This is real life.
Bridgerton.
What Kayla is doing, what Kayla's been trying to do,
I can't.
What she's trying to do is be disingenuous to the priority of which a man value and attach all these other things to justify her phrase to say, oh, this is all you value. No, it's not all.
No, it's not. I think I'm speaking for the other side. I'm speaking for all sides. You guys are trying to box everything into one place
Kayla,
all
yeah.
men, for all people, for
There's a
all
disconnect.
women. And I'm continuing the conversation by
There's a
talking about all the other aspects that are real and that are out there.
There's a
Just because-
disconnect.
So we're
I think
trying
we're
to
talking
tell
about
you
diplomacy.
that those things are good to have, but that's not what we value.
Okay,
That's what we're trying to tell you.
Before we go on, can we all agree that different men value different things?
No, there's an exception and there's a rule. The rule
There's
is
an
that
Okay, wait.
exception.
That's not what I
we
asked.
value
Mike,
the same things.
hold on. That's not what I asked. Can we
Mhm.
agree that different men value different things? Now, I'm not talking about the percentages, the bell curve, nothing. I'm just saying, can we agree that some men value looks, some men value trust, some men value, can you support whatever I'm doing? Some men value, do you look good on my arm at this event? Can we agree that different men value different things?
Yeah. You got
Would
Pookies and
all the
Ray
men
that
on the
don't
panel
value
agree?
marriage.
Would all the men on the panel agree to that?
They just want to impregnate you. We can
Yeah,
say
different
that.
men value
There's
different things.
different men out there that
Answer.
value different things.
Do all the
Lockheed
men
agrees.
I'm trying to think.
Mike is thinking.
Yes.
There is.
Would I be wrong? Would I
Okay,
be
you
wrong?
agree. Is it Vi Chief?
Yes.
Do you agree? You say yes. Okay,
You
Hink?
agree? Hink, do you
Yes.
agree that different men value different things? Okay, and Mike, are you done thinking?
I guess I'll say yes.
Okay, and that's it. That's it. Different men value different things. That's it. Like, I
But-
don't think that.
Well,
we're
we were
sitting-
having a conversation about what
value all
most
those
men
things.
value.
Yeah, because I
Most
literally
men value all
just
those
had a
things.
conversation
I
with a
mean,
huge
different men
person
value
on
different things.
Clubhouse who does not value marriage, who does not value marriage in any capacity.
Some
I'm not
people
going to say he's wrong. That's what he wants to do. He doesn't see the value of marriage and doesn't ever want to get married. For the married
There's
men on the
also
panel,
men out there that
I
don't
would say
value
that
women.
y'all
They value
disagree
men.
with him.
What are we
right?
talking about?
Does it make him?
Can I say something?
What are we talking about?
And if
Yeah, what-
people,
wait.
if people only like based on what you were talking about earlier, Bruiser, and like some of the talking points in these spaces, if men mainly value looks, youth, all these things, then why aren't all these young hot women snatched up and married?
Because they don't
They
recognize
hoes.
their value. I just stated that an hour ago.
They hoes.
Most- These women in between ages 18 and 25 don't even recognize their value.
Yeah.
Which is why they get this mentality where they want to become, oh, I want to be a career woman. I want to be a modern woman. And by the time they recognize their value, they're already closing in on 30, 35 on geriatric pregnancies. And they already racked up a body count.
Damn.
You get what I'm saying?
That's funny.
Women who recognize their value early between 18 and 25 more than often make decisions that yield great results. This time frame is the best window of opportunity for women to use the assets to attract and maintain relationship with their significant other.
And I don't disagree with that. It's just that the men, their ages are not on that same page. And as much as we can say, as much as we can say men want older women, women want older men. I mean,
Kayla, I think a lot of
they kind of like guys that are their age. They really do.
But Kayla, they still in
They want older men for security, but want you for you.
Why would you have to
They
marry?
don't want you for you when they're 20. They don't want you at 35. They don't want you for you.
Women want good men after they ran their bodies down.
They want
after they damn near become
age
non-fertile and they got their degree in their career. That's when they want a man nowadays. When back in the days when I was coming up, my grandma.
And what do men at 18 and 20 years old? What do they want? They want marriage and kids.
18 all the way to 70 still find the same value in the same women.
Men that are these women.
Men
ages,
from 18 to 70 still find value in a 25-year-old woman.
Again, are men 18 to 35? Do they want what you are saying that women should want, which is the families,
yes,
and all that? Do you think that they're
all
valuing
men
that?
from 18 to 25 want a young woman,
18 to 25. That's
a young woman who's fertile, who's young, and don't have a crazy ass body count. Yes, they do. And who's healthy,
and they're ready to get married and these women and take care of these
women. We value never changes.
I believe they would if they could find the right woman, like Bruce was saying. But right now, the women
men 18 to 25,
they're not like it. They still in the streets.
They want to be. They want to be in the streets, enjoying themselves, enjoying their youth, and living it up. So if they're acting like hoes,
what if it doesn't happen?
Hot girl
You're
summer.
saying men 18 to 25
men
are
to marry
looking.
these hoes, and it's just not how it should be. I would.
So men,
I would
okay,
encourage my
Hank,
son
so
to do
men
that.
18 to 25 are looking for a wife. They're actively searching for a wife and to settle down.
I don't know about looking for a wife, but they may be looking for a good woman who could possibly be a wife someday.
Thank you.
Someday, what, like 10 years later?
No, not necessarily.
Yeah,
Maybe about 5 years
Yeah,
later.
that's actually true. Okay,
Because that is true.
No, that's actually
when
true.
you're young, they want to sit you the fuck down. They do not. I do not see 20-year-olds getting married. They get in relationships. Just like the guy that called into Lapeef or called into Crew Season last week. Oh, I'm this age. I don't want to get married right now. They've been together 4 or 5 years. Oh, I want her to do all these things. They're not marrying them then. They're sitting them the fuck down for 10 years, then deciding 10 years later.
If women are not marriage potential.
They're sitting them the fuck down. You shouldn't do this relationship for 10 years to prove you're marriage material. And then when I'm 30-something, then I'll marry you.
Because women are lower their requirements. Get in their vagina.
Doing now, though, they wait to their 30s and 35.
But that just proves my point. Men 18 to 25. Men, again, y'all are proving my point.
Getting in a woman's vagina. So let me ask you a question.
Men 18 to go ahead.
Let's say 18 to 35, whatever the freaking number. Let's just say they get with these women right at age 20. Are we marrying a year? Are we marrying 6 months to a year? Or maybe I'll give it 2 years. Are we going to be married then? Or are you going to leave her out on the street? What are we doing?
Hold on, say that a question again.
I said, if we are 18 through 35, right? Let's just say I'm 32 years old and I find a woman at age 20. And I want to quote unquote settle down with her, and somehow it does not work. Are we leaving her out on the streets, getting her barefoot and pregnant?
If it doesn't work,
first of all, you don't get her pregnant. First of all, you don't get her pregnant.
But they do.
First of all,
but
this
they
is
do.
Let me tell you what's supposed to happen. Since you want to talk in hypotheticals, let me tell you.
It's not a hypothetical, Bruiser. Bruiser, it's not a hypothetical. A lot of these babies are made in these young relationships.
No,
like y'all want to say single mothers, this and that, but the percentage of women that are getting pregnant by random men is not that high. Y'all are capping and going extreme.
No,
these women have babies. These women have babies within a relationship.
These women just took away Roe v. Wade, and these women are still having babies because they don't have any requirements. They don't require men to wife them up before they open their legs.
And we got to be clear about
men 18 to 25 are not wifing nobody.
Women will have a body count before they get a ring.
Kayla, if they're acting like hoes, you shouldn't wife them up. You should treat them as such.
But you're within 18 to 25. That's their prime whole age.
And they're giving their whole prime. They're giving their whole prime to a body count.
At that age. They're not. Y'all, okay, we can't all talk at once. You guys, one at a time. One at a time. We can talk about women being hoes, yes. But again, we cannot act like men 18 to 25 are looking for a good woman to wife and to settle down with. They are being hoes. They are happy as fuck being hoes. They are not looking for marriage. So for you to say that women that age need to be expecting that of men, that's not gonna happen. That's not gonna happen. They have to get older.
Let me get this one off. All right, so Kayla, you're telling a bunch of dudes. So what you don't realize is that men that age that you're talking about are extremely impressionable and romantic. They will get married. Now, if you go to the military and look at the marrying age inside of the military, you'll notice that people do get married young, and it's initiated by the man for 2 reasons. They have one reason. They have the resources to get married with a woman who's like-minded like them. You see what I'm saying? They find somebody who's doing the same exact thing they're doing. Bruiser can tell you. Anybody else who in the military can tell you. It'd be E3s in that mug getting married.
And they also get more benefits.
No, well, this is what I got to do.
It's a financial benefit on their end.
Wait. This is what I'm going to substantiate that. Now, you take that same statistic and say, okay, do men with resources marry early? Well, look at Mexicans. Many of them, because they are in a family structured unit, get married before the age of 23. It's like up to 40% of them before the age of 23. So that means if you come from a culture or have had marriage modeled for you and you have the resources to make it happen, men do marry before the age of 25. It doesn't matter what age of men. Then you want to go to the baby thing. Black women lead in unwed births before the age of 20, 30, and 40. Black, Hispanic, and Asian men both lead Black men in number of babies before the age of 40. So Black men are out here impregnating nobody. It's a group of Black men impregnating everybody, or other races of men impregnating Black women. So we got to get that statistic completely correct.
But another thing is, Kayla, if these women are showing that they're good options, worth even, settling down with, maybe some of these men would marry them. But if you're not giving me good options, what am I supposed to do?
I get you. No, Hank, I get you. A lot of the good women that I know are just now getting married, though. They've been with these same men since Howard, but they didn't marry them.
But
they stayed in a relationship with them. They didn't marry them until much, much later on. So for you to say, and some of them had babies, and they still got married to those same men.
Taylor, whose fault?
And some of them didn't. But my whole point was, Hank, is that we can't talk about women of that age group not settling down or not whatever, when men of that age group are not looking for that. The men that they are around, that they're surrounding themselves, are not that. The percentage of men on college campuses and young 20 years old are not out here looking for marriage. Yeah, they'll sit you the fuck down. They'll take you off the market without taking you off the market. But statistically, they make women wait 7-8 years before they actually marry them.
But Kayla,
why would a man marry a woman if you don't have the ability to your own point?
If she didn't have no standards and she didn't put out there a requirement for, hey, I want to be married, that's what I'm looking for, and she accepted this man, knowing he didn't reciprocate the same mindset, that's that woman's fault for accepting that. Don't accept that. Move on.
So now it's women's fault for men not having the. But if you're saying women should not be hoes and should be marrying to these men, but you're saying it's okay for these men not to want to marry women, what sense does it make? What are we doing?
If you're not getting good options, don't marry them, man. That's what I'm saying. But
and that's why women 18 to 25 are not marrying these men, because they're
racking up bodies.
Why the fuck should women marry hoes? Why should they marry hoes?
Women don't give it two shits if a man is a hoe.
Never marry a hoe. Leave them hoes at the goddamn restaurant.
But I'm just saying, don't get mad at women 18 to 25 for not wanting to marry these men 18 to 25 that are not ready to marry.
Hold on, let me just say something. Hold on real quick.
Bruiser, go, and then Vi Chief. I want to hear what he has to say.
This is what you're trying to say. We're not getting mad or angry at the fact that women are not trying to marry between 18 and 25. We're talking about the body count. We're talking about racking up bodies and not requiring a ring. You're going to allow a man to come in you allow Pookie and Ray to put babies on you and all these crazy ass body count, these low value women at the peak of your value, you giving your body to low value men. And then after that, now you want to get married or you want to find a suitable mate to marry you when you can find him in 18 to 25. You just don't want to date out of the age range. So you justify racking up a body count because guys, you just stated the 4-year ratio, 4 years above you,
within the 4-year range.
You restricted yourself to this. You restricted
within that age range relate to each other. Someone 15 years younger than me currently, literally has no idea of half the shit I'm talking about.
What if you're 24 and the man is 34? What's the problem with that?
Again, 24 and 34-year-old could possibly be on the same page.
Okay, so what's wrong with that?
The likelihood of someone 24, their mindset and ideologies being incompatible with someone 34 from a different generation and decade, it's just different.
It's not an excuse.
What do you mean? People should be with people that they're compatible with. People shouldn't marry people for reasons like,
use that excuse to appreciate your value.
Because that's how you get left. That's how relationships go to the mind.
You appreciate your value because you're not compatible.
Actually
you don't watch the same movies and you don't eat the same food.
They marry people for security. They marry people that they don't even really like. Men marry women they don't like all the time because she shuts the fuck up and she's attractive, but he doesn't really like her. Men marry men, women marry women. Women marry men all the time. They don't actually like, but he's a good provider, right? They don't fucking like that nigga, but he's a good provider. And then when they say, "Oh, all this divorce all over the place," because people marrying people they don't even like, they don't even know for reasons like attractiveness, femininity, and money. And now,
arranged marriages have a 90% success rate. People marry people they don't like all the time.
Yes, they do. But I'm saying, when you're saying someone that's 25 and their ability to relate to somebody and have compatibility with somebody that's 25 or 26 versus someone that's 35 or 36, it's just different. Do y'all have conversations with people 10 to 15 years younger than you on a consistent basis? Do you?
Yeah.
Are they long lasting marriages?
In your personal life? Who?
Yeah, I have them come on my panel all the time.
No, in your personal life.
I have friends, family members, people I go to the gym with.
How old are you,
Bruiser? I go to school with.
How old are you, Bruiser?
I'm 36.
Are any of your closest friends 20?
Why do they have to be our
closest friends? Are any of your closest friends 20?
No, my closest friends are...
then. And why not? Why aren't your closest friends 20 and 25-year-olds? Why not?
Because
you're making an invalid point. This is an invalid point.
Because your
friends are people you relate to.
We're not talking about friends.
Your age bracket.
So this is the thing.
Kayla, he was about to say he's smart enough. You're smart enough to do what?
I'm smart enough to have people in my circle that complement where I'm trying to go and what I'm trying to do.
Wow.
And I vetted these. Let me finish my point. Y'all can't understand what I'm saying because y'all never allow any of us men to finish our point. I vetted these men out 10, 15, 20 years ago. So that is my circle, and my circle have been with me for the amount of time. So why would I reinvent my circle to compensate and justify your point to have a 20-year-old in my circle? My circle is not going to change for the next 20, 30 years.
It's almost like all types of people have circles that they had, or Bruiser, you're proving her point.
No, we're not proving her point.
You are.
She's sitting here trying to justify.
You're proving my point for people that are together for the right reasons. People that are together for people that
you talking about somebody that can
maybe not. But you're proving my point, though.
I think
definitely.
I have friends that's 40, 50 years old, but they're not my close friends. So what do you say about that?
Which proves my point. People marry people within a certain age bracket for a reason.
Has nothing to do with who I marry.
Bruiser, there's a reason that the people that you keep around you are closer to your age range.
Wait, hold on, Bruiser.
No, but that has nothing to do with who I make my spouse.
Exactly. Is your spouse close to your age range?
That's my point.
How old is your spouse? Is your wife 20?
My wife just turned 21 when I married her. I was 28.
Is she currently 20? You said you're 36. You said you're 36. Is your wife 21 now?
Why would
is she 21 now or not?
I married her 6 years ago.
Y'all were
in 21
when
6
you
years
were
ago.
30. You married her when you were 20.
I got in a relationship with her 8 years ago when she was 21 8 years ago. So she just turned 30. She just turned 30 a couple weeks ago.
So y'all
I'm 6 years older than my wife.
Right.
What are you apart? Y'all don't have a big age gap. You're not 15 years, 10 years older than her. She's only 5, 6 years younger than you.
Because I didn't do it doesn't mean that it cannot work.
She's still close in your age.
That doesn't. My situation don't make it be rule.
I see it Thursday and she's on Monday too, huh?
Nobody said that it can't work.
Taylor, I think your point was built off of
nobody said that it can't work.
No, it wasn't. He made my point. And even using his own example, he made my point.
It's built off of a false narrative.
Hold on, Trigger Mike, because Vi Chief was supposed to go next. He hasn't gotten to talk.
My fault, Vi Chief. Please.
Yeah, there's so many topics. The topic's been moving so fast I can't keep up with this shit. But one, I wanted to say, to address Bruiser's point that these women are just hoes. Aren't we having this generation having less sex than the generation before us? Like, I'm 33.
No.
When I was 20, yes, it's stats.
Let's just let him talk. Can we let him talk?
All right.
He barely spoken. Just let's let him
You're
talk.
right too. My bad. You're right.
All
You're
right.
right.
From what I learned, this generation is having less sex than a generation before. So this whole idea that women just hoeing and fucking everything that, oh, my bad, I'm sorry, that just having sex with everything that moves. I don't know how justified that is. It just seems like that because everything is online and OnlyFans is now popular or whatever. And also that when I was 26, I was still trying to figure out what I'm going to do with my life. I didn't have it figured out yet. I was dating people, but it wasn't going anywhere because I had nothing to offer anybody. And because I date within my age range. Most women at that time, 26, wanted somebody stable, and I wasn't stable at that time. So I don't blame them for like wanting something more than I can offer. But when I was 26, I wasn't ready. I couldn't support anybody. I was just figuring out what I wanted to do with my life. So I didn't know a lot of 26-year-olds that had it figured out, who were planning a family, getting married and all of that. But maybe they got other people out there who had it figured out. I don't know. So that's all I wanted to say.
So basically you're saying the reason why basically advocating for the man between ages 18 and 25 that's not getting married is because they don't have a plan and they're not ready to have a marriage because they can't support or offer a woman anything, which is justified. So they're not going to, they don't have any value, right? They don't have any value going into a marriage. Therefore, they're not going to go into marriage.
Yeah,
right?
pretty much.
So what we're saying, what they keep doing is trying to make a comparison. Men and women have different values. We're valued differently. A woman's value is not her ability to provide and protect. So the fact that a woman's value is in her fertility, her youth, and her body count.
You
being
just
at a minimum.
Status earlier.
Bruiser, can I, because we were talking about how you pick partners, because for me, right, one of the things I care about, I don't want to be teaching my 10-year-old ABC. So intelligence is very important to me. I don't care about how hot you are on Instagram. I think that after, yeah, like, she's pretty, but she don't have anything in her head. So now you had a baby by a pretty girl, and now the baby's 12-year-old and can't learn ABC because the mama dumb.
That's the problem right there.
Yeah, I mean, this woman is the one that's going to educate your children.
That's what I'm saying. So I prioritize other things than just like looks. That's what I'm saying.
You,
like,
as you should.
You both will educate both the
as you
mother
should.
and the father will
but chances are she's gonna protect the mama DNA too. If the mama only have beauty to offer, the chances of me having a dumb baby is high. I don't want a dumb baby.
See, that's the extreme, man. Just because we're going after beautiful women doesn't mean that we don't value anything else.
That's not what he said.
That's not what I said.
It wasn't his top priority.
That's not what I said.
Okay. This baby to learn ABC at 10 years old.
Okay, so
if the mama learn ABC at 12,
he's being disingenuous when he's first of all, hold on, for anybody to have any initial interaction, they have to be attracted to be able to initiate any conversation. For him to say that is not his priority, he's being disingenuous. When you go out and date somebody, for you to even walk up to somebody to see what they have to offer your children, you have to be attracted to them in some kind of way.
Chief, let me ask you: if a woman was a 10, but she was, a little dumb, not really educated, and then you have a woman that's an 8 and she's educated, right? Which one are you going to go after? Because I think Bruiser thinks that if you get a woman that's educated, she's ugly. And that you're going to approach a woman that you're not attracted to, which doesn't even make sense because you don't know someone.
Now she's trolling.
You don't know
someone. I never
said
any of that.
Again, you don't know someone's even intelligent until you speak with them. So people, of course, go off of
We already talked about this topic.
So Vi Chief,
I'll date a 7 who's smart.
And you know what, Vi Chief? I think a lot of men would. A lot. Where did I state on this panel that indicated that I wanted a 10 that was dumb? This is what you said that indicated.
I dated 5 before.
Did anybody hear me say anything along with that?
Bruiser, I'm gonna tell you. the thing that, you know, we keep kind of circling back to, since you asked, is that when we were talking about things that make a woman valuable, things that men look for in women, you only named superficial things. Only. Like everything you named was
Superficial.
yes.
So you want the man to run down his whole list?
Hold on, Hink.
That's what they want you to
named a
do
number
so
of
they can
things.
justify all the arguments.
He named a number
Okay,
of
so
things all night.
while we were here earlier, it was just me, you, and Kayla. You ran down the list of things that were valuable as it relates to women. And we kind of pushed back on that because plenty of men look at other things. Like, honestly, I think it's an insult to men to say that the only thing men care about is how somebody looks.
And their youth and their body count. Remember, don't forget those.
Like, there are plenty of men that actually look for substance, that actually look for the type of woman that you are, the type of person that you are. Like, how could you?
How do we give you any indication that we don't include those traits?
Because you
talked
said
all night and you never brought up any other traits.
Kayla, he literally named like 3 or 4 things that had.
I named the things that
And then-
women
and
does
then-
not recognize.
Bruiser,
They do not
and then
recognize
after
their
that-
sexual
wait.
market value. I didn't say they
Bruiser.
don't recognize everything that
Bruiser.
makes them valuable.
Bruiser, and then after that you said, and that's about it. You literally said that. After you named the looks
I got
and
a question.
you said, and that's about it. You said that.
I've been on this panel before, and I told you what makes a woman valuable.
And now you're
Maybe
coming
just
back
gave a
to
brief
say
scenario of
something
his list. He didn't want to give us
But we
whole-
all agree.
Well, let me go ahead. If y'all
We
want me
all
to go ahead
agree
and
men
rant
value-
on what makes a woman valuable, I can
no
do
one
that.
is saying
We all
anything
agree
about
men
ranting.
value different things. We don't have
No
to
one-
argue about this.
Right. We all agreed on that. But like, Bruiser, you don't have to keep saying somebody's ranting. Like, you don't have to use these trigger words.
But
We're
when y'all
having
ask me a
conversation.
question and I try to answer, y'all cut me off, so y'all
You-
only getting part of the answer.
Bruiser,
And then
Bruiser,
you're gonna
don't-
bring it
Bruiser,
up and say I said this whenever you got a
Bruiser,
part.
don't do that. Don't do that because you were
That's
here.
true.
I was here. Kayla was here. When you named the
Everybody
thing,
was watching the show. Watch me get caught off on every time I try to make a point.
Bruiser,
Oh,
don't
you some
try
type
to
of
do
understanding.
that.
Fine,
Bruiser
Bruiser,
is
you
now
already
trying to gang up like a mob of people
Like
to be like,
you and-
yeah,
like you and-
they cut him
Like
off.
Kayla
Bruiser,
does
don't
on
do
every
that.
Thursday show.
Bruiser,
I
you're better
understand.
than this. You're better than this, Bruiser. So the thing is, we can have a conversation and we can disagree, we can agree. Bruiser, you know we love having you here. But the thing is that you specifically mentioned things that make a woman valuable. And the things were about their looks and their counts and whatnot. That was what you said. Now you're trying to act like somebody is misrepresenting you when that's what you
I
literally
listed the things that make you valuable in your sexual market. I don't know how many times I stated. Even We on Lock came on here and asked me a specific question about
the
sexual
specific
market.
question before any of them came. The specific question that I asked you to get that answer was, what do you think makes a high value woman? And you named those things. Anybody
I already
can
answered this question before. You don't remember my
It should
answer.
be intelligent.
So
It
let's-
should be
Y'all give him
intelligent
time to
and
list some
decent.
more.
Anybody can go back
Let me
and
go
rewind.
ahead and tell you what I think makes a woman valuable completely to me. My opinion. I was telling you the things that make that if you draw a connection and cross-reference, most men find women valuable in this part. I was telling you where we all draw the line, that we find a common denominator was fertility, youth, and health and fitness.
Okay, so now is
I
your
was
time to
drawing a
clarify.
common denominator. But now if I go into my own personal traits about a woman that makes her value, which I've said before on this panel, I said that she those three things.
Okay.
She has the characteristics of a peaceful nature. She shows good judgment and is disciplined. She has an exciting energy about her. She expresses her joy. She makes a man feel free, allowing him to be himself. She's liberating. Those are the things that I find her femininity. Those are the things that I find valuable in a woman.
Can
When
the
a
other
woman,
dudes list what they find
You know what,
valuable in a
Bruiser?
woman?
Thank you for clarifying that. Definitely.
What'd you say, Vi Chief?
Can the
Thank
other
you
dude?
for
Can
that
everybody
photo.
list what they find valuable in a woman?
Do any other men want to list what they find valuable in the woman? And then I want to go to We Unlocks. We Unlocks. Right after all the men go, I want to go to We Unlocks question in the back chat. So who else? Do any other men want to answer Vi Chief's question?
Yeah. So, you know, when you really break it down, Bruiser's right. Because I once thought I agreed with you, Kay and Kayla, like, no, I value a woman's intellect and all of this. And then my brother met when I was dating my wife when she was going to Hampton and was like, God damn, boy, you got a type. All your women look the same. So before I even get to the part where I'm dazzled by their intellect, I'm naturally only approaching certain women. So at least in the baseline, yeah, it is the beauty. It is the fit, feminine, friendly, approachable. I won't even approach you if you don't have those qualities.
Because you're attracted to that makes sense.
So we can do it both ways. That's why I'm like, we can do a superficial qualities and then get into the substantive qualities. So substantive qualities, I love virtuous women. I need my woman to be a wife on day one. She needs to cook, clean, and do all cook, clean, take care of the kids, all that type of stuff without complaint. That's the big word. She needs to do it as if she's been doing it her whole life and she takes care of it naturally. I need to watch her move through life and take care of those things. And that's what gave me the confidence to say, no matter what I add to this woman's plate, she'll make room for it. So she won't stop. So she's really industrious in that sense. So that's my biggest substantive quality.
Remember when you mentioned that last time? We talked about this before. Do you remember that conversation?
Oh, yeah, I do.
And you said like dutiful, like a woman who was, So like that consistency I can appreciate, you're being straightforward about the fact that, of course, like if you were going to approach someone, they're going to have to be attractive to you in some way. And the only thing you can know about somebody before you talk to them or see,
is how they look.
that they're doing is how they look. And that's understandable. Like, I don't think anyone would disagree with that.
I don't think so either. Let's let the rest of them finish, like all of them go, and then we're going to make our comments. So who else? I guess Bruiser went, Trigger Mike.
Hink and We Unlock, I think, have to go.
If they want.
Go ahead, Hank.
Voluntary space.
Man, every time I try to talk, I get muted. I'm just trying to figure that out. So I agree with a lot of what the guys are saying with Bruce and Trigger Mike. I mean, only other thing I'll probably add to it is the woman I'm looking for will have to agree to one pot. So, I mean, other than what they said, one pot.
As far as money.
One bank account.
Yes.
Oh, one bank account. Yes. So, okay, all y'all money have to be all together.
Everything goes into one pot.
Okay, got you. Okay.
That's rare these days too, Hank. They think they're supposed to have a separate bank account, bro.
I ain't believing in a rainy day fund, because if you got a rainy day fund, you need to get the hell on.
And I'm taking that shit.
You already got an exit plan ready, and I'm not with that. So
that's one foot out the door.
Requirement, but it is what it is. Hopefully, I'll bless a woman with my last name once I find her, and I'll do that.
I think Kayla secretly wants separate bank accounts. That face you made.
I definitely want together bank accounts, but that doesn't mean I'm not going to have another bank account somewhere else. Yeah, I mean, cool. Say something happens to you and the assets get seized.
That's what a man is okay with you. That's cool. But
that's only smart and intelligent, because things happen to people every day. Something could happen and our account gets seized, and if all of our money is only in a place,
we both got to deal with it.
Things happen every day. Plus, I have family stuff, and my family stuff. I would,
that's shit. That's a deal breaker.
You would put his name on a separate bank account.
Y'all all gonna have to both suffer together. If something happens to his account, it's gonna y'all all gonna suffer.
I was more taught that my money is for emergencies. My money is to protect us if something goes wrong with him. That's what my money is for.
Well, what if your bank account gets seized?
Well, I mean,
I got to suffer, huh?
What if my bank account gets seized?
Why can't there be 3 bank
like the
accounts?
internet, yeah.
He got the
How
family.
about-
We having our own money
There's,
somewhere else.
in my
is
opinion.
for emergencies, something that happens, things like that. That's what my money's for. It's not just so I can like, you know, oh, whatever, because I think my man would have no problem like making sure I have everything that I need. But me, I'm the queen and I watch out for the king. So I have like, if anything, and this has happened before, if anything ever happens, like I got you, and that's my job as your wife to have you when you are down to have your back.
Why would your bank account be seized?
I mean, the IRS could seize your ass for taxes.
Kayla be in these
There's
streets.
many different. There's
many
different reasons. You can get falsely accused for something, and they freeze your shit. All different things happen. So I'm saying I have my money places. I have my money places for us because I am supposed to be your backup. When you fall down, I'm supposed to be able
It's always good to have your money diversified. Anybody talking about putting all money in one place doesn't know what they're talking about. Money should be diversified. Anybody out there listening, people got their egos in the way talking about put all the money in one place. No, diversify stocks, bonds, whatever, CDs.
See, you see how we just veered off the conversation.
When we talk about one pot,
y'all going somewhere else with the conversation.
We just
especially things that are in my family, things that are like belong to my family legacy that are in my name. I'm definitely not. Like no, like that stuff.
We just veered off from the topic.
But that's because people started talking about.
Hank started talking about the account. So talk to Hank.
I started talking about what my expectation is for a woman. That's what I
started. Right, which was to have a joint account. That was your expectation. Okay, and that's perfectly fine.
Everything is
but Kay, that's his right.
That's his
right. He should definitely do that. Everybody should definitely do what they think is right for their life. We unlocked. Did you want to go in terms of your what is it?
Love, respect, relationship, or I'm sorry, love, respect, her wits, her poise, her intelligence, God-fearing. I forgot about that. That's my fault. God-fearing, love, respect, loyalty. It's not how much she earns. It's what she can bring to the table as a wife and as a mother. I value all of that. There should be no apparent reason why there's going to be some adversities here and there. We're going to agree to disagree, but that's what mainly a marriage is all about. That's what mainly a relationship is all about. We agree to disagree, but at the end of the day, we're going to come to some conclusion. That's called life. It's called balance. If I don't consider this to be balanced, if I don't consider this to be something as value as love, I don't want to be in this relationship. I don't need to be in a relationship with you if you're going to lie to me. I don't need to be in a relationship if you're not going to tell me the truth. Upfront, close, and personal. Look me in the eye and tell me that we're going to be in this thing forever. And of course, we're going to go through some ups and downs. We're going to have some highs and some lows. But at the end of the day, can we be in this thing together? And that's what I value. That's what I value the most. Oh, and I forgot. If anybody's offended that I said God, too bad. Go ahead.
Bye, Chief. Let's hear it.
Well, I like the love. I got to be attracted to you first. And also, I like. All right, I got something to lose, so I want somebody with something to lose. I'm not into dating broke girls. I'm a software engineer. I want to date somebody who got shit to lose. And I also want to feel comfortable if I'm not around that my family is okay. I think that's a priority. I want to know that if I get stuck on the island somewhere, that my kids are not starving. And I'm not I value respect, boundaries, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
Okay. I guess everybody answered. So as we see that there are some commonalities amongst all of the men. And you know what? I don't disagree, with any of it. I think everybody's entitled to definitely having, what they want and being with a spouse that meets what they want. I'm here for that. Y'all definitely get the likes up. I'm going to read the super chats, but what I will say is that, I don't disagree with a lot of the stuff that y'all are saying, even for me. You know what I'm saying? And like, I think that is why, there's like a negative connotation when I say stuff like that, because that should, for women, apparently that shouldn't be, you know what I mean? Like, I need, first off rip, I need to be attracted to you. I'm not having nobody on top of me I'm not attracted to because they can provide and be masculine or whatever the fuck. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, but I think that women are expected to not feel the same way that you guys feel. He's attracted to them. He makes me feel good. He reassures me, all the things that women want. But for some reason, there's this mindset that as long as you provide around here and you're masculine and you're a leader, all that other shit's just not important and shouldn't be important. And it's just like, okay, you know what? I think I'm just here for successful marriages. And I don't see successful marriages if the woman doesn't feel that way about you. If she's with you because you can provide, and she's just with you because you're that age and you're finally ready and you're, whatever. I get it. But I see the people that 10 years later getting divorced because those aren't all the right reasons. And that's why I said about, what's this question in the back chat? Like, where does love and attraction come into play for both the man and the woman, but for the women too? Like, you want your wife to want you. You want your wife to respect you, to be attracted to you, to have all those same things that you feel for her. You should want that for her to have that for you as well. Because over time, the sex is going to get less and less. The relationship's going to have more issues if she's not with you for you. And I think it's even, I don't know. I mean, obviously, your ability to protect and provide, that should be off rip. But like, I don't know. I just hate this notion. I hate this notion that women shouldn't care about, the compatibility and the attraction and those things with the man, and should only care about, the superficial things of him being able to protect, provide. That's all I'm saying. Y'all want sex in y'all marriages? Sure, what's up?
Let me ask you, would your husband have access to your account that you have on the side?
Have access to it?
Yes.
Yeah, I can give him access to it.
You had to think about it.
Well, no, because I'm thinking in my head, there are levels to access. There are levels to access. So I can definitely give him access. It's just like my business page. You know what I'm saying? My publicist has access to that page. She can do stuff on that page, but there are levels to what she can do on that page. So I would definitely give him access, but he won't have like the ability to empty it or no shit like that without there being approval from me, especially if that's money that comes from like my family or stuff that I had acquired prior to him.
Really?
You know what I mean?
Really?
So should he be able to have an account that's separate from you?
Really?
Yeah, he can definitely have an account that's separate.
Yeah, all the damn time. You ought to be ashamed of yourself, sucking ass so damn much.
I would be a fool to think that my man didn't have another account somewhere else that was making purchases that I didn't know about. I'd be a fucking dummy to think that wasn't going on.
But you know what's funny? You want to know what's funny?
Why you get married? You don't even trust your man. You don't even trust your husband.
Who said I didn't trust him? I'm not. If you don't give
him
about
access, you don't trust him.
Kayla, I thought finances didn't matter. Like, why?
I don't know why they care about my money. I thought my money didn't matter. I don't know why. Why do they care about my money? What
See,
does
the
my money have to do with anything? Y'all don't care about my money. Y'all with me.
Wait.
I thought it didn't matter.
Y'all
Now
not with me for my
oh
money.
my goodness, we need
That's
to
a-
care
hold
about
on,
my little
hold on,
bank
hold on,
account.
hold on, hold on.
Which is it?
Finance
Does it
doesn't
matter or
matter.
does it not?
That's a nice deflection, but no.
It's not a nice
on, hold
deflection.
on.
That's what
It's
y'all said.
disingenuous.
Y'all said y'all don't care about my degree.
It's
Y'all don't
disingenuous.
care about my business.
How is it
Y'all don't care about my money. But now y'all care. Now I need to
Hold
let
on,
y'all
wait,
get
wait.
access
Who
and
said y'all
shit.
don't care about these things?
How is it
I didn't say that.
disingenuous?
The funny thing is,
How is that disingenuous?
You
If money,
So-
education, all that stuff doesn't matter.
Who said that though?
no.
A lot of people. Well, we're having this
I didn't say
conversation.
that.
Okay, Hank, I didn't cut you. I'm never
I
talking.
said it does.
But you're
So,
making a general
well,
like
well,
we all
Hank,
said
Why
that.
is it a
But Hank, when you said the things that you value in a woman, you didn't say nothing about her resources. I didn't hear
I
you
said
say
one
that.
part.
not until it got
I
to
said
Paris
one
Hilton
pot.
level.
What is that? That
Huh?
means all our money goes into one pot.
Oh, okay. You are the one that
What are
said
you
that.
talking about?
You know
Now
what?
you're
You're
lying
right.
on me.
You're right, Hank. No one else said that though. I didn't hear
Oh,
Trigger
okay.
Mike or
I'm
Bruiser
my
say
own
that.
man. I'm
But
not.
you know
I
what?
can't
You're absolutely,
answer what they said.
you're
I
absolutely
didn't
right,
say that.
Hank. I was wrong, Hank. You're right. You
I
did say
forgive
that.
you. I
Why is
forgive
it
you.
deflection, Mike?
Well, I'm
But
saying,
Mike and Bruiser
so
didn't, to be clear.
well, to me, you will never hear me say it because it goes without saying, or at least it's supposed to.
But why?
What? That you care about her money? You value you when you said the things you value in a woman, you didn't say her money or her resources.
It is not about caring about money. It's just like Hank said. It's all in one pot. It has a lot to do with trust and family function. If you're trying to hide money from me, then systematically we're using our
Hiding
money.
is
Who said anything about hiding? I just said that he can have access to it. He can know it exists. He can know how much money in there. I didn't say nothing about hiding.
Stop the cap.
Nobody
I just said that you couldn't have the ability to empty that bitch.
Hey,
You
but you
can't
see how they
empty
have
it.
to throw in hiding to make
Right,
it
to try to make it seem like I'm doing
No,
something.
if you have separate
Nobody's
accounts,
hiding nothing. You should not hide anything in your relationship. Nothing
if
should
you're
be
not
a
hiding
secret.
it, then we got no disagreement.
Well,
But I
this
better
is
know
what's
everything
It's not a
that's in that
secret.
But this is what's funny to me. Vi Chief just stated what he valued, and Kayla stated what she valued. It's just funny to me that the things that Kayla valued is what a masculine person or a man would value, and the things that Vi Chief values is what a feminine person or a woman would value.
So now you're putting us in a box based on what we value.
I'm just
Really?
saying.
So I'm masculine for wanting somebody I'm attracted to. I'm masculine for wanting to have compatibility with the person that I'm with.
Values protection and prevention.
Because I don't want an ugly nigga on top of me. I'm masculine.
I would suggest that.
Wow. Okay. I guess I'm gonna be motherfucking masculine then, because I'm not getting with an ugly nigga. Sorry.
I thought I was the only one who saw that.
No, all right. Here's the thing, bro.
Go away from me with this, Apollo.
A lot of people in these spaces talk about how women want them for their money and all these things. I want somebody who got stuff to lose, so I don't have to have those problems. Okay, I don't want to. I
have stuff to lose though.
What?
You won't have access to it.
She has.
I don't care. I want somebody who can take care of themselves.
A woman already comes. One thing you gotta understand: a woman comes into the relationship already with things to lose.
Bro,
she loses her youth, her fertility by wasting all of her years with you.
I don't want a woman to cook and clean. I don't value labor. Labor is not important to me. If you're dating me, waiting for me to cut the grass, I ain't cutting that shit. We'll pay somebody to do that shit. I don't cook. I don't do all of that shit. I don't value labor. I pay somebody to do that shit. I don't.
These are the type of women. These are the type of men.
Most men don't buy cheap. Most men don't buy cheap. When something happens with the toilet, they call another man to come fix it.
I tell my daughters to get away from most men thing. I just fixed my toilet today. Where do you get these most men drops from?
This man is gonna have a man come his house to fix his house up. He's gonna be smashing your woman.
No, he's oh my God. Most men have other men come fix their shit.
No, they don't.
Wrong wallet. So you telling me? So y'all men on the panel. Hold on. Y'all men on the panel. Y'all men on the panel telling me if y'all toilet broke that you know how to fix it.
Yeah, I just fixed my toilet today.
Really? My mom's boyfriend is a master plumber. Okay, he works.
I fix my hot water heater.
We are on the
I fix my Home Depot.
Go to
His
Home
clients
Depot
are
on a
men
Sunday
and women.
see how many niggas
It's
fixing their own
really great to be able to fix your own things, but
I
let's
even
not
installed my own security system.
let's not
They
act
didn't put
like
their
a
roof
lot
on their
of
house,
people
though. I know they didn't do that.
You have
They
the
didn't put the
biggest group
siding on
of
the house. I know they didn't do that. Okay.
the
They didn't put
siding.
the up around the house.
I didn't know the
I
house
know they
was
didn't
in there
do
before
that.
my wife
Say
was
that
in there.
again.
But
Say that
it
My
is
again.
wife wasn't in there during the
put the,
sidings.
you put the siding on your house, Sugar Mike?
My wife wasn't
My
in
house
the
was
house when
brand
the
new. It was a
sidings
new
was
build.
putting up.
You put the roof on there? You replaced the roof for the
My
insurance?
house
Because you
was
know you
My
got to
wife
replace
wasn't
it.
nowhere
My
Up
near
until
the
house
house
all
was
when
the
the roof was
insurance
being put on the
continue
house.
to insure it. So when it was time to get the roof replaced, you fixed that. You did that.
My house was a new construction. It's
But what
2.5 years old.
I'm saying, after a certain amount of time, your insurance company is going to require your roof to be replaced. At that time, are you doing it?
Are
Vice,
you
he got
doing it?
AAA on speed dial, don't
No,
he? He be
no.
calling them
We
to
are
change
going
the
to
tire,
call
right?
somebody.
Now,
We are going to call a professional. We're going to call a roofer. And a roofer is going to come.
Beta males.
I don't know why your husband to get on the roof.
You just
and
talked
fix
about
nothing.
something.
Or if you
Shout out
talk
to
You
my
were
like
talking
Mexican
about
brother.
something that's covered in my home
everybody
warranty.
doesn't have time to do that themselves, and some people have the means to do
I
it.
have time. Kay, these men don't know how to do a roof.
When my
Why
apartment
should
didn't
we?
have a
Why
washer and
should we know
dryer,
how to do a
I
roof?
was dropping my clothes off. I wasn't washing that shit.
You're moving the goalpost.
When I live in an apartment that didn't have a washer and dryer, I
Gee,
dropped that
what
shit off.
do you do?
Yes, he goes to work. It sounds like he goes to work and does his job,
What do you
and he
do?
pays people to do other things like most Americans.
Yeah, that, you know what?
Now, most Americans ain't
That's
paying
when
somebody to do their job.
They're not.
They can't
Most
afford
men
to.
do their own housework and housework that men know how to do. If you got
Well, I
somebody,
don't.
if my kids
I'm
bust
sorry.
a hole in the wall,
So that,
Men
this,
don't-
going to go
men
get some mud, and I'm
trigger.
gonna
this is the type of guy
Mike,
you're gonna have
men
to
are
wait
not
45
born.
minutes.
Men are not
Go to
born
Home
know how
Depot
to do
on
these
Sunday.
things.
Yes,
Doesn't
they are.
make somebody less of
that
a
shit.
man or
You know
whatever.
what? You know
And
what?
I'm not saying you said that.
You know what?
I'm not saying you said that.
So
But
you
it
know what
doesn't
else
make
is
somebody
funny?
less than.
YouTube,
Y'all cap.
no,
Y'all
YouTube
capping.
replaced the dad.
Y'all
YouTube
capping.
had ads against eyebrows. What do y'all think?
Y'all
YouTube
some
taught niggas how to do
motherfucking caps.
whatever the hell it is they want to do.
It's okay. Some
How can
people,
dudes build computer programs, but you think they can't?
you know what?
High value men are not fixing the roof or the toilet or none of that shit. Only
Hey,
low
you
value
can't
people are
deny
doing that
using the
because
roof
they don't want to pay.
example.
They don't have the resources
roof
to
is
pay
still
somebody to do it. But when niggas
Stop
get money,
using the
they
roof.
call somebody. Stop the
roof
motherfucking
is
cap
still
on this
work.
housework ass bullshit. I'm done. I'm done.
Well,
No, you
Kayla,
just know
certain
everything
things you
about
can't
men,
do
don't
for
you?
insurance purposes.
I
Some
mean,
things
it's just,
you can't do
it's
for
just,
insurances,
Hey,
right?
I was gonna
That's
say
like
that's
if I'm
all
not a
covered in my
certified
home
electrician,
warranty.
I can't do no electrical work and still get it passed by my
all
home
right.
warranty.
So
That's not
it
going to work.
seems, it
Thank
seems
you,
we're
Mink.
getting like way
They go
off
to the extreme to make points,
some
bro.
different things. Hold on, guys. They're,
The roof.
you know, it's okay. Some people may choose to go up on their own roof and, you know, replace some shingles. What are they called? I don't even know.
Shingles.
Shingles.
Yeah.
Shingles. Okay, I was right. So, like, some people may choose to do that on their own. Some people may choose to clean their own gutters. That's fine.
That
Some
equipment is
people,
expensive as
hold
fuck.
on. Hold on.
No.
Some people may choose to pay someone to do it. I don't think that, like, compare. And I'm not saying this is what y'all did, but I felt like that was kind of what the conversation was like alluding to. I don't think it matters. If you are busy, wait, can you please wait?
Oh, okay. I don't want to cut you off like you cut out.
Okay. So the thing is, if we are in a situation where people are, you know, paying to do something, or if people are doing something themselves, why does it matter? Some people don't feel like doing it. Some people are busy. It doesn't matter. Like, they can do whatever they want. I don't think that it speaks to a person's character or anything like that if they choose to do something themselves or if they choose to pay to get it done. It just doesn't matter.
But it
So,
doesn't matter for a
I don't
woman.
even know what the. No, I'm just saying, like,
matter for a woman.
No,
here's the thing,
I'm
right?
even saying for men,
It's
because
not that- listen,
it definitely
I
matters.
don't want to do it.
It
It's not
depends
that
on
I'm busy to do it. I have no interest
And
in
Chief,
labor.
and
You can't
Chief,
try to
I
defend
have
you and you
no
screwed it all up,
interest.
dog. You screwed it up. She
Why?
tried to defend you.
Chief, if you're there and you are like, you know what, I don't want to clean my own gutters, and you pay someone to do it, who cares?
I have no interest in learning how to cook. I don't want to. I don't want to do it. I don't know how to hold a knife. I have no interest in learning how to do it. I don't
It's
want
easy.
to.
It's
If I'm
easy.
dating somebody, I have you. If you want to cook, good for you. If you don't want to, good for you. I don't care. It's not important to me. I don't value labor. It's not important to me.
Okay.
How is cooking labor, though?
No, it's labor. It's laborious. It can be
Nigga,
laborious.
that's survival, bro.
Bro, when I watch my wife cook that shit,
See, these are millennials. No, this ain't even millennials. This generation Z, right?
Bro, I'm
Your parents
30.
failed
I'm
you.
33. I was born 89.
So you're a
Parents
millennial
failed you,
now.
brother. Your parents
What are
failed
you
you.
talking about? Gen Z?
What?
I don't know Gen Zs.
What
on
you
the-
say?
Your
So
parents
you-
failed you. Dude. I feel
Why?
bad
How?
for you.
Why?
I thank
Listen
God
what
you
you
didn't
say.
you
Oh,
didn't
you
come
ain't
up in the
gonna cook for
60s and
yourself.
70s, bro. You
All
would
right,
So
here's the
before, let
thing.
me ask you this: are you married now?
Yeah, you would be
No.
screwed. I would agree
Okay,
with that.
so who's cooking for you? Are you door dashing the whole time? Or are you going to
Sometimes.
mama's house?
All right, but here's the thing, right? When
That
I
dude
was
cap.
growing up, I didn't grow. I'm from Liberia. Okay, my
Okay.
mom didn't cook. We had maids. Okay, I didn't make my
Okay,
own.
cool. Do
What?
you got maids? Do you got maids?
No.
Stop
I
the
said I
cap.
grew
No,
up
what are you
with it.
doing? How do you survive it, big brother?
I order out. I make enough to take care of myself, bro. Do I have to do it? I didn't grow up doing it.
Some people are different than
Especially
others.
somebody-
Let's just put it
He's
that
not.
way.
There's
He don't
nothing
have any
Exactly
financial
a
literacy if
lot.
he's just ordering out.
Some people are different than others. It
Exactly,
just
like,
just
what
leave it
is
the way it
the
is.
I'm
Just leave
argument?
just
it.
trying to
Can't
figure out
order
why
out all
my
the
man's
time.
parents failed him like the way they did. I need to help him out. Where you live at? Come on,
There's another
come on,
one of
Kentucky.
our-
I'm gonna
So,
help you out, brother.
let me
Damn,
ask you a
bro.
Show you how to
question.
use a grill.
Let me
There's
ask you a
another one of
question,
our friends
right?
on the Thursday show that said he orders DoorDash all the time, and
DoorDash
I've
wasn't always around for
never
his 33
seen,
years. What was you doing
I've
before
never
DoorDash?
seen this pushback.
Wait,
So
let me
it
ask you a
goes to
question.
show the
So,
He's living in his, with his
me
Hey,
being
I'm
a
gonna let you
man,
answer the question.
me
She
being a
gonna say,
man is judged on how much I can do, how much
no,
hard labor, macho.
no, come on, man. Come on, man.
But
Come on.
Chief, do you have kids?
No.
okay, that makes a lot
Good.
of sense now.
Good.
You
Good.
hold out as long as you can.
Please.
Yeah.
They're gonna eventually get hungry.
Come
And I
to the
don't know what
groomsmen
you gonna
show
do
before
doing
you have
that.
kids. We'll get you that.
So let me give him pushback. Let me give him pushback on what he said about that macho stuff. So I never want that to be the overall thing that we think. Men's primary job, because everybody, it's easy to define what a woman.
But you say I'm not a
supposed to
man
do.
because I can't cook.
No,
and
no,
clean.
no. Let me finish.
No,
Let me
no,
finish.
no.
Not because of what she like does in the house, but a man's primary job is to do whatever the hell else need to be done. So eventually, when you do have kids, when you have something else to take care of other than yourself, you will find yourself doing these things that is quote unquote macho because your woman cannot. So, right now, yeah, I was living your lifestyle. I ain't gonna lie. When I first got here to Houston, I ain't cook a damn thing. I was making good money, single, my own apartment. So eating out every day, brunching, So I get it. But you'll come around one of these days and we'll be sitting on
Mike,
here.
Mike, how often do you cook?
Me?
Mm-hmm.
You'll be okay, Chief. You'll be okay.
If I'm cooking, it's usually for my kids because my wife's still at work. So 2 times a
Man,
week.
you look like you eat pretty good, man. So you know
Okay,
you
so
in
you
the kitchen.
cook about 2 to 3 times. So you cook about 2 to 3 times a week, Mike. So you
Yeah.
believe in like the shared,
No.
tasks.
I don't.
So then
It's
what
a
do you?
necessity. I just said I do whatever needs to be done. My kids need to eat. If my wife was home and in fact she's changing.
Okay, so
maybe
shared tasks based on need.
necessity. Okay,
Right.
yeah, sure.
Okay,
But if she was
I mean,
home,
there's nothing wrong with that. I was just
I
asking
was
because
gonna say, okay, I get you what you're saying, but
Yeah.
if she's home, she's cooking.
I mean, understandable. I was just saying because
Yeah.
in this modern world where people are doing different things,
Well, so
you agree
Kayla,
with the shared tasks.
it's always important to note. It's always important to note. Whenever we give men a bad rap or we try to glorify women and what they do, men have always done what I'm doing. We do what needs to be done in order to make the house work. So yes, you can put on Instagram a picture of my wife cooking and be like, he got her slaving in the kitchen. They will never know that I do exactly what she was doing 2 to
That
3
you
nights
cook
a week.
3 times a week.
They will never know because men just do whatever the hell needs to be done to keep the shit moving. That's what I'm saying.
As they should. Exactly. It's all about making things work, doing what you need to do to make sure that the household is running, as effectively and efficiently as possible. I think that's great. I was just asking because when you were saying it, I was like, oh, because I didn't realize, based on some other things you've said, that you would be doing those things. But I think that that's good. Getting things done that need to be done.
Whatever
That's it.
needs to be done.
That's
what
at
men
the
do.
end of the day, that's it. Right?
Consistency and dependability. That's what a man is.
Hey, do you cook for your family?
Absolutely. I'm not sure where Kayla is. Yeah, I do, Hank. Absolutely. Yeah. So I'm not. Oh, I was about to start winding down. Kayla.
Yeah, I was.
Kayla, where were you? I needed your help because I was getting killed.
What happened? I'm so sorry.
Were you begging for a woman to help you?
She said,
I mean, no, we all know.
Beta
We all know
male,
what they,
boy.
we all know what they were doing,
Damn, dog.
and they're just.
What do you
gonna
call them,
continue-
Trigger Mike?
They're going to continue to advocate in
Chief.
delusion. It's okay.
you know, I actually, I love to cook, and my
That might
husband,
be Omega.
I bought him this like lunch box
Come on to Kentucky, man. I'm gonna help you out.
with all these compartments, and he was like, "What are you doing?" But you know, because he was like, "I don't need all these compartments. Like, I'm not a little kid." And I was like, "But it's like a bento box. It's like, you know, a lot of little."
Oh, I love those bento boxes.
Yeah, it's like the bottom is like a whole thing, and then like the top has like 3 compartments. I'd be trying to like fill it up with all this different stuff. So yes, I definitely do cook. And
I love cooking. It's just the time.
Man, you got to
So
start
I'm
reading.
like,
They be
ask that, but we're gonna get
disrespectful in
around
the chat.
the last.
Good meal in about an hour, okay?
Wait, what? I can't hear. I can't. Some people talking at one time.
I said you can cook a good meal in about an hour.
Yeah, of
Okay.
course.
And let me, for those naysayers out there,
Yeah,
I
I
just want to say,
run a team
I'm
of
not
you
sure
do
what
it.
that statement
I
had
run
to
a
do with
team of
anything.
people.
You can
and
do
sometimes
anything
I'm
if you're
just
willing to lose a
tired.
little sleep. That's all I got to say about that.
Yeah, you can cook
Wait,
a
what?
good meal in an hour for sure.
You definitely can. I'm more meal prep because I can't cook every day. I run a whole team of people. I do a lot. Sometimes I don't even get off at 5. Sometimes I don't get off until right before I do this show. So
There's an East
you know,
Indian
every
lady that's
night
a
I don't
surgeon
have the
across
ability to
street.
cook.
She's a surgeon and she cooks for her family every day. What you saying? I got an East Indian woman across the street. She's a surgeon and she cooks for her family every day. What you saying?
Surgeons don't have surgery every single day.
Well, she's in the hospital every single day.
Yeah, but they're not doing they're
You
not
know
doing
what his
10-hour
specialty
surgeries.
She does
every
follow
single
up
day.
every day if she's not in surgery. She's in the
Mike,
clinic.
you know
Just
what?
taking patients, seeing
Mike, what is
patients.
her specialty?
What does that have to do with anything?
Hold on.
What's her specialty? Because if she's like an ER, you know, a trauma.
No,
Definitely
she has her
not
own
an
office.
ER. She's definitely
okay.
not an ER.
Right.
She's
Because
definitely not
if
ER.
you're like
It's per
She would
appointment.
be
wherever
doing like
she works.
48-hour shifts and stuff if she was an ER.
That's what I'm
She's
saying.
home
If
every
you-
night. We pull in at the same time. That's why I said.
right. If you have appointments, it's different. Like there are levels. It's different stuff for different people.
Yeah.
And that's
Mhm.
okay. So like as it's becoming 11:52 Central, we're gonna kind of start going around and getting final thoughts from everyone. Yeah. So let's go from We Unlock to Chief to Hink to Mike. So We Unlock, sorry for saying me. We Unlock, what are your final thoughts?
First of all, Kayla, thank you for having me on the show. It's a pleasure see 2 wonderful ladies just going at it, trying to find some balance to this whole thing. My only thing about it is look, we just at some point in time we just need to love and respect one another, men and women both, because there's something more to this. It's something more to life than just being of value and all this other stuff. I mean, just go with God. That's all I got to say. Just go with God and listen to God, and then apparently somebody will present it to you.
Excuse me?
All right. Thank you, We Unlock Nation. By Chief, final thoughts?
Well, it was good talking to everybody here. I respect everybody's opinion. Kayla K, I watch you guys a lot. I'm a big fan of you guys. So, yeah, thanks for having me on.
Thank you for coming up.
Thank you so much. Appreciate you.
Supporting.
Yeah.
And you a dumbass nigga.
I don't know why anyone thinks that sound is funny.
I don't know why that's okay.
And I also don't know why
Nobody is dumb. Nobody is dumb. Heard. Nobody here is not intelligent.
See all the laughter, but like people like don't have that same energy when someone asks a simple question. It's like, oh my God, you're bullying people. Oh my goodness, what are you doing? But then it's like funny when people call names. See the inconsistency. I don't know. But Hink, final thoughts.
That's all the bullies. Black men, protect yourself at all times. You know, go get your blood work, go get your prostate. check. Go get your colonoscopies. Go get your mental right. If that means you need to get in somebody's Zoom meeting or somebody's couch, please do that, because you got to protect yourself and be around here for the long haul. Because black men, we're trying to conquer the world. In order for us to do it, we got to be healthy. So let's take care of that.
All right, thank you, Hank. Mike, final thoughts?
Oh man, what's the topic on today? Okay, well, I mean,
What?
sorry, stay out of toxic relationships. Boring is good. I want people to understand that what I talked about earlier, pushing the other end of the extreme. So, you know, we got a society that overvalues sex and what it can do for you. Just remember, nobody makes it out of that unscathed. You have to find other things to value, find value in family, find value in everything that you think might be boring. Trust me, that is where your prosperity lies. I have lived nothing but a prosperous life and my life boring as hell. All right, so that's all I got to say.
Bruiser, what's your Instagram?
Bruiser.
Bruiser.
At Bruiser.
I'm gonna follow you.
And I love what Mike said. I love what Mike said. However, that doesn't have to be the case.
Wait a minute.
Y'all can definitely do things that are fun.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, fun, but we're boring. That's what I'm saying. To everybody else, we're boring.
But I mean, anyone that's committed and doing something well in their life, know that takes routine, and know that can be boring sometimes. But that doesn't mean your life together has to be boring.
Oh yeah, we're not toxic. That's what I meant by boring.
Right, based on the question and all that. So wait, someone in the chat said those were Bruiser's ad libs, because I know JR sometimes does that like ad lib thing from backstage. Those are yours, Bruiser. Sorry, JR. Bruiser, I don't know why you thought that would be appropriate right now.
Hold on. First of all, you gotta. Did I admit to that?
Wait, tell me.
Oh gosh. Hold on. Let's go back to. Oh goodness. Oh my goodness.
Is it you or is it JR? Because I don't know. I thought it was JR because he does that sometimes.
Nah, that was mine.
Okay, so we see the shade. Shady Grove over there at Bruiser. Okay, who was next?
Everyone went. So thank you, We Unlock. Thank you, Chief Pink. Thank you, Mike. Y'all want to leave together, or you want us to start dropping people off? What's y'all want to do?
Thank y'all for coming. It's been a great.
All right, there you go.
It's been a great night, you guys.
Thanks
we'll see
for
y'all
coming
next
and
Monday.
Y'all have a good night, everyone. We're not.
You guys have a fabulous night. Make sure that you are following the channel, and be here every week on Mondays, right here on Lapeef Let's Talk. See y'all next time.
Bruiser with the ad-libs. Can't believe it.
I
see y'all next week.
Bruh.
But I'm knowing that it's madness. Swap with me, God, cut us for the same fabric. No, I really can't complain. Everything is straight. I've been on the wave, but everything I say turn into the real thing. Tell them run it up, you know it ain't a thing. We made it out the Psalms with the words on the page. Everything is straight. I've been on the wave, but everything I'm saying turn into the real thing.
Make sure you guys hit that like button on your way out. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Shout out to Bruiser. Make sure you guys give Bruiser a follow over there on this channel. Shout out to Bruiser. Give him a follow over there on this channel. Appreciate all the support, you guys. It's the last track. Shout out to Bruiser. Make sure you guys give Bruiser a follow on this chat, on this channel. My bad. The last track.